That man is terrible.
Who?
Rudy Gobert. You know, I know you guys ain't watched it. You know, see it offensively. You know, see it. Offensively.
I missed the game last night. I did.
That man missed like 4 layups.
I missed it.
He was occupied last night.
But then he'll turn around, Mars. Right? Then he'll turn around and he'll go 8 for 11 from the floor and right around the basket. He'll make 7 of those 8 layups.
Alley oops and layups.
Yes.
That's what he does. Like all his baskets last night, he catches lobs. Great. If he can dunk the ball, it's great. You play vertical and make him take a layup over you, he gonna miss every time. That's what Jabari Smith was guarding him, just doing this. Miss layup. Like, nah.
I don't know if it's every time. I don't know if it's every time, but damn, Mars, you can have an off night.
But you really want him to have more isolation opportunities in the post?
No, he wants him to just be given the ball when he has a mismatch.
But what's the mismatch?
I'm saying it's not a mismatch when it's Rudy Gobert.
I think that they miss him. I think that they miss him a lot of times diving to the rim. I think they miss him a lot of times when he's got a smaller guy on him, where he buries a guy underneath the basket, where it's a simple just catch and lay the ball in. I think that they miss him. Anthony Edwards, in particular, misses him a lot of times when he has that kind of mismatch on him. I'm not saying to dump the ball into him like you dump the ball into Joker or Joel Embiid or something like that. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is on the pick and dive, when they run that pick and dive action between him and Anthony Edwards, or they run that pick and dive between him and Mike Conley, a lot of times Mike Conley misses him. And I think that those are 5 or 6 possessions of buckets that could enhance their offense.
Do you think he's a better offensive player than DeAndre Ayton?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out like where you might value him, but even Ayton, you don't give the ball to like in high level situations, especially. So I guess
who is he better than offensively? Starting centers. Who is he better than?
So if
it's not Porzingis, it's not Brook Lopez, it's not Jarrett Allen, it's not Wendell Carter. Is he better than Mitchell Robinson?
Yes.
Okay,
I think he's better than Mitchell Robinson. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Mars, I think he's also better.
Isaiah Hartenstein is already moving me.
I think he's better than Wendell Carter too. I do.
Is he better? Is he better bar for bar than Brook, or is it Brook shooting value for you? It's
Brook,
what matters most.
That's the separator with Brook because of today's game.
Brook can get some work on the block.
Brook got some post.
Brook got post work.
Yeah, Brook.
Well, not only that, not only that. Yeah, yes, he is. Because of today's game, he can stretch the defense. He can shoot the long ball. He's even a threat in the mid range. So, I think Brook Lopez is better. Yes,
Wendell Carter can shoot it too. But if you think Wendell's worse, that's fine. So we got Wendell and Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, whoa!
He's not better. He's not better than Miles Turner, right?
Diggs got traded to where, Ron?
Who got traded
to Houston? Stefon
Diggs.
Oh,
yeah.
NFL.
For what?
Yeah, Houston on top. Let's go.
Diggs.
Ron, for what? What are they going? Who Josh Allen throwing to? He got lost Gabe Davis too.
Wait a minute, that's headline news right there.
It's insane.
That's nuts right there.
That's crazy right there.
Draft compensation. Oh, they must be guaranteed. They must be guaranteed then that they're going to be taking a couple receivers in. I'm sorry, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. I'm flabbergasted by that they really did that.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but shout out to CJ Stroud, man. Shout out to CJ Stroud.
Hey, CJ Stroud got him one.
Shout out to him, man.
Is he gonna do something? Is he gonna do something with it though? I mean, like, is he gonna be able? CJ
Stroud?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. CJ Stroud with Tank Dell and Nico Collins?
I hear it. But so what do you in reality, where do you have them go? How far are they gonna go with that?
What? They about to be cold. They are about to be, and they got a good tight end. They just resigned, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, fantasy football, lock it in. CJ Stroud, get him in the 4th round at least. That dude about to go nuts. And bro, they just got a running back. They just traded. Ron, who they just traded for? Oh, Joe Mixon. They got Joe Mixon. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Stefon Diggs, and they got Dalton Schultz at tight end. They're about to go crazy. Yo, Houston's up, man.
Ridiculous.
Ron, that's gonna be nuts.
You remember what that was looking like just 2 years ago?
Yo,
I had them. I thought they made the playoffs this year. I had them at the bottom of the AFC West. I mean, at the AFC South. I had them at the bottom of the AFC.
I mean that's what happens when you draft a quarterback and he turns out to be
a rook. Wait, so let me make sure a rook quarterback, a rook head coach. He's never been a head coach anywhere before. A rook head coach. That defense was super sus. No wide receivers on the edge. No edge rushers. Nobody to put pressure on the quarterback in that division with the Indianapolis Colts, with Jacksonville, who I thought was going to run away with the division. Meanwhile, Houston looks like we're a year away from challenging for the Super Bowl.
I don't even know if it's a year away.
This is they're. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. And they got Willie Anderson coming off the edge too. I guarantee you this. They gonna be pushing for like 11-6 to 12-5 next year, and they will absolutely be getting
12-5 in the AFC South wins that division.
But they might be at the top of the conference though. I'm saying like that's
okay.
If they stay healthy, obviously everything is health in football. But if their left tackle is locked in, Willie continue to get better. Their defense gets better, bro. And this is what I want to say. D'Amico Ryans, by the way, this is why you take chances on former black players to be head coaches in the first place. Just like old boy that's head coach for the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders right now. These dudes know how to set a culture. They know how to get everybody locked in and ready for playoff football. And I'm telling you, Mars, if you a Houston Rockets fan, I don't know if you've ever been to NFL football or not. This is absolutely the season to lock in. Get you a Texan jersey, get you a Stroud jersey, put it on the back, get you a little Houston Texans flag back there. This is about to be the best team they've been able to put on the field, period.
Mars, just so you know, I got a little bit of a bias toward Houston. Their head coach, he was the defensive coordinator of the 49ers. So I got a bit of a soft spot for D'Amico Ryans. So I'm good. Yeah. He was the defensive coordinator of the 49ers. But anyway, I'm sorry.
We got to bring it back in before I get around to these goofy super chats. Shout out everybody that's in the chat.
Yeah.
Everybody that's filing in. But Mars, I got to ask you. So Rudy Gobert shouldn't have shot more than 7 shots last night?
No. I mean, well, he got fouled on like 3 layups that one of them wasn't even a foul. So really, he got like 10 scoring attempts. That's too many. He should get like.
Mars, I think that you're misconstruing what I mean when I say they don't go to him. When I said yesterday how Cleveland uses Jared Allen, when I say how they use him, for example, Joker is playing off of Jared Allen in the mid post. Rudy can knock down an 8-foot floater. He can do that.
You think he can?
Oh, 100% he can do that.
Yeah,
not only can
consistent though.
Not only
I don't think he can do that.
Not only can he knock down an 8-foot floater, 8 foot, by the way. Not only can he do that, when I'm thinking about that pick and roll action that they have him in, when they have him in that pick and roll action, they don't have him in that pick and roll action to not use him. Because if they're not going to use him, then you can just blitz Anthony Edwards. You can just blitz whoever has the ball, blitz Mike Conley. When he's diving to the basket and getting the ball to a guy on the block are 2 different things. The same thing that James Harden did with Clint Capella, that's how they should be using him. Not just lobs.
Yeah, lobs, yes.
But not just lobs.
I think the defense is pretty happy though if Rudy Gobert is shooting floaters. I'm pretty sure they're gonna live with that.
What happened last night was we would Rudy would pick and roll, we would hard hedge Anthony Edwards or whatever. And then we would tag Rudy with our smalls, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks. And we wouldn't send a double, we wouldn't help, we would just be comfortable with them on Rudy. And either he'd get a phantom foul call after missing a layup, or he would just miss the layup. I'm not saying give him post touch. I'm not even saying you're saying give him post touches. I'm saying the things you are calling mismatches where they should give the ball to Rudy, they're not mismatches for him because he's not good offensively. That's the thing I'm saying.
They'll take that.
Give him the ball in those positions, unless he's wide open and can dunk it. Every defense lives with Rudy Gobert having to finish over the top of anyone. Everyone will live. I'm gonna live with Rudy Gobert trying to finish over Jabari Smith, over Dylan Brooks. I'm gonna live with him trying to get something off over Jalen Green. We're gonna live with it, and we did live with it. Now we lost the game, but not because Rudy Gobert's offense was doing something, because of the other reasons that we lost the game. But Rudy Gobert offensively, he's just not good. And
well, see, Mars, that's where you and I have a divide, because again, of those 7 shots that he took around the rim, now that does collapse your defense. Now that opened up the offense for Anthony Edwards, knocking down the mid-range that he did in the 4th quarter, which I thought was surprising. Not just him, but it also opened up their transition offense too.
Theoretically it does, but considering we don't send help on Rudy, he doesn't really open much up.
In the playoffs,
What really ruined everything was Kyle Anderson, if I'm honest. So that's what ruined everything. We leaving Kyle Anderson open. He out here getting to the rim, making layup. He made a 3. Like, that's what ruined everything. Kyle Anderson ruined the game. And yeah, we blew some assignments with him. That's what blew it. Rudy Gobert, he was a non-factor. Nas Reed killed us. But Nas Reed, Kyle Anderson, and Jordan McLaughlin made like 17 threes. That's what killed us, really. But yeah, we didn't have a good game, but it's not because of Rudy. Rudy's a bad offense.
Well, you could have won that. You could have won that game yesterday. Fred VanVleet, which he's a sneaky good clutch player, bro. That's
the only thing he's good, and he's terrible for 3 quarters, and then just starts turning into Steph Curry for 5 minutes.
So you think he's Tim Tebow, basically, is what you're saying, bro? This dude, like his sidestep.
I want to hate him, and then he just shows up when we need it. I'm like, if you were just showing up the whole time, he would have been up 20. Like,
that step back to the left to the when he had Kyle Anderson on the screen was insane. And it was a 2-step gather to the left. And the thing is, what I hate about Fred VanVleet's game is that it's not like when he shoots, because he shoots with so much arc, it only hits net. So like it just stings even more when he shoots because it just feels like he's not going to miss anything. But Fred VanVleet was a really good signing. I really think if Şengün would have been available, they absolutely could have won that game yesterday. They just didn't have enough playmaking at the middle or scoring punch. But Jabari Smith Jr., man, think about it. Where he's gotten to this point in his career, where he's able to be that small ball 5 and be competent. And now he just played versus Rudy yesterday. Well, obviously it's the main issue. But man, I love everything about like what Houston is building. And I think Jalen Green taking this step is great, but I think it's the fact that Dylan, Fred have seamlessly fit with this team. Jabari's gotten better. Amen Thompson is showing that he's going to be one of the best players in the league at some point in time, like a top 30, top 25 player, maybe. I don't know. But especially a all defense first team player. Like, I just love. And then Cam, Cam is developing. Cam had this issue when he was at Duke, though. Like, he's not like he struggles a little bit with like learning how to play, make and pass and everything. But I think he'll get it too. I think everybody on that team is trying to buy into an identity. And so that's why I think Houston is set up for such a solid future.
That's why you have young guys. I mean, that's what you have when you have young guys. You don't really have an identity. You really have guys trying to figure out who's going to be the guy, who's going to have their role on the crew. So with a team like Houston, who Mars and I already had this conversation, that they have a lot of good problems, but they do have these problems where they got like 4 or 5 guys still on rook deals. In the process of them still having guys on rook deals, you still have guys like Jalen Green, who's kind of coming into being the man, but then Şengün comes back, which means that the offense has to be adjusted. Well, then add Jabari Smith into this, where how exactly are we using him? I do think he's going to be an all-league defender. I do think he's going to be one of the better scorers in the game, but how much? How much do we use him as a scorer? How much do we use him as a defender? Is he our Derek White on the crew? What exactly is he? Then you add Tari Eason. Well, what are we going to do with Tari Eason as a rotation guy? Is he going to be a bucket getter coming off the bench? What is our identity as a crew in Houston?
I think it all starts with Jalen Green, honestly.
And Şengün. Those two. And I mentioned
Jalen Green, though, I feel like the personality-wise, I feel like he's definitely the front runner for their team. Going forward, he shot the ball in his hands during the clutch. Jalen Green
had the ball in his hands last night during the clutch and turned the ball over twice.
But relax. Year three.
Yeah, you gotta learn from it.
I'm the Jalen Green guy. I'm not about to start hating on him, but those turnovers killed me, man. Oh my god,
we actually had a conversation not too long ago about Jalen. It was pretty interesting. Yeah,
y'all seen that finish?
That's gonna be made into it. Oh, when he tried to dunk on Rudy?
Yeah,
that was crazy. I mean,
ridiculous.
He had one similar to that in like the first quarter too. Like he did something close to that twice in the game, and not many people in the league can do that. So, like Chill said, good problems. I think Jalen Green's for me. I've been clear on this. Jalen Green, Alperen Şengün, and Amen Thompson are the 3 that I think should be untouchable. They're the 3 building blocks to me. Jabari fits with them because his versatility defensively.
Really? You don't think Jabari is
I'm not as high on Jabari as a lot of people. I think Jabari to me he's gonna scale up to me to be an elite level role player which I think is a great thing to have on a roster. But like in terms of star potential, I think it's those three. I think it's Jalen, Sengun, and Amen Thompson. Jabari fits with those three seamlessly because of his shooting ability, his switch ability on defense. He rebounds, and I mean, he just offers you a lot of utility. Tyrese fits with them because defensively, him and Amen Thompson will just be menacing at the point of attack. He's also one of the best offensive rebounders in the league, and he just does everything that you would want from an intangible standpoint. So he fits. Cam Whitmore is where I'm like,
star in there? Would you bring a star in there with the Rockets? Would you bring like a you know what I'm saying, like one of these known stars to the Rockets, you know, like to compete, or would you keep the young core?
Like Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges.
Be serious. We talking about stars, and you saying Mikal Bridges. Be serious.
He doesn't put over the top.
Y'all wanted them, but
that's rumors. That's rumors. Brooklyn are just like they were trying to bump up his price, and they should start making stuff up. But I don't think we need to go out and get a star. I think
you don't think so.
Trust the person.
No, you got one. You already got one already. You got two of them.
Yeah, you got Şengün. Şengün, then Jalen. Yeah, they do. They have two.
You trust the process. I mean, Sengun's 21, turns 22 before next season. Jalen Green's 22. Amen Thompson is going to be 21 until January of next season. Cam Whitmore doesn't turn 20 until the summer. Tyrese, I think, turns 22 in May. Like Jabari, I think, is 21. So, like, you just trust the process. We grow. We hopefully are going to end the season above 500. And then you just develop from there. I think getting in a star, like, changes how you want to play. How do you want to run through Sengun if you bring in a star who thinks they should be the number one guy? I think you just believe in what you got. Jalen Green and Sengun, to me, fit damn near seamlessly. If you got Jalen Green, who's that dangerous coming off a pick and roll, but then if you trap Jalen Green, you got Sengun, who will be one of the best short role playmakers in the NBA. Already shown that this season that's what he's capable of. The only question mark is going to be the outside shooting from all of them, to be honest. But I think you figure that out. I think the future's bright, man. The only one who I think might be like the odd man out is Cam Whitmore, and that's not me knocking his potential. It's just I don't know where he fits with the young core. Part of it's because of his playmaking, some of it's because of his defense. There's just things, but he's the youngest. He's like the fifth youngest guy in the league, so we got time to figure it out. But he might end up being the odd one out, in my opinion.
And I think he'd be a great trading piece too, Miles. But you can get another number one for him, where you can extend. When you get another number one for him, you can extend another guy. I mean, to get Cam Whitmore at 20, you might be able to get an even better rotation guy in terms of a trade on the cheap for him. In terms of his contract, I think that'd be great.
Hey man, Chicago, if you want to give us Alex Caruso for Cam Whitmore, we hit. But yeah, I think I've said this before, and some people might consider it biased. I think Houston have the best young core in the NBA. I don't think.
I think they're Oklahoma City next year, Moss. I think they're Sacramento last year. I think they Oklahoma City next year. I do. I do believe that.
I'd love to see that. I mean, 50 wins, considering what it takes to get in the playoffs in this Western Conference, we might need 50 wins to get the 6th seed. So,
Trade Şengün while his value is high, Mars. You hear that? Trade Şengün. Trade Şengün while his value is high.
Okay.
He's trying to blow up my franchise.
He's trying to blow up my franchise. He's trying to blow
I don't know why people think this thing Şengün and Jalen don't work, because Jalen started figuring basketball out in the later half of his third season,
out
which
in
is
the
kind
game
of how
before Sengun went down.
I know they played two games together over that stretch.
Like we were figuring it. They were
figuring
so
out. You're saying he wouldn't
like
fit well next to a playmaking big with that level of athleticism and shot making that he's been developing? Okay.
Who would you put him next to?
Who?
Who would you pair him with?
I mean, they're better players.
Who would I pair Jalen Green with?
Who would you pair him with? Yeah.
How about Sengun? I was just about to say that. How about Alfred Sengun? How about that?
I don't like. They're like one of the most.
I mean, he could be better next to better players like Wemby or something like that. But Şengün's perfectly fine.
Because I think Wemby's a better player than Sengun, even though we all know Sengun gave him 45. Just in case you didn't know, Sengun did give him 45. But Wemby is a better player than Wemby is a better player than Sengun. But in terms of fit, one of the best young passing big men who creates so much havoc in terms of you have to double team him in the post, but then in the pick and roll, he's such a threat in that short roll that now Jalen Green can cut off of him. The dribble handoff is going to be dangerous. He can fake handoff. Like we're using Amen Thompson as the 5 because he can pass. Now just swap Amen Thompson in that position without Prince Sengun. Like we're running this little like delay scissor action, right? Where you got Fred and then you got Jalen, and then Fred will set like a little screen for Jalen, he'll coming to his right, and it's Amen Thompson giving him the handoff. Now imagine it's Sengun there, and then if you jump out on Jalen Green, Sengun's fake handoff, Amen Thompson in the dunker spot. Like how do you stop that? Like, and then you got like we're running zoom action with Jalen again coming to his right with Amen Thompson doing the handoff. Make that Alperen Sengun, and they fit together so well. And then Jalen Green in the pick and roll, he's making great reads to Jock Landale. Now imagine instead of it being to Jock Landale, it's the Alperen Sengun. Like they just fit together so well, especially if Jalen Green is making his catch and shoot threes, which is like that's the next step. If he's making that consistently, that's an all-star combo for the next 5-7 years.
Which, by the way, we gotta get to the title of the show. But before we do that,
we got to the title of the show.
Oh,
what is the title
today,
of the show?
We talk about Houston today. It's a problem, but
we gonna get back to Houston because we got to start talking about the playoffs too. So we'll get back to Houston. But Dion, before we do that,
what's up, man?
I gotta rewind. I know what all of these fellas think about Rudy Gobert. I gotta ask you, how do you feel about Rudy Gobert?
Just as a player, right?
Yeah. And where do you think he ranks
What
amongst
do you think about him as a father figure?
I was about to say, unless you know him, unless there's something we don't know that you know.
Right, as a person, huh? Well, the thing about Rudy Gobert is this, man. The thing about it to me is I think that he's overrated when it comes to defense when you compare him next to Anthony Davis and Wemby. His interior defense is great, but I feel like Wemby and AD right now are better defenders. I mean, Wemby's having he has like 3 9-block games, 3 to 8 9-block games. AD, bro, is a more versatile defender than what's called Rudy Gobert as well. So when it comes to that, I just think people put him in a conversation he shouldn't belong in. I don't think he deserves another Defensive Player of the Year either. But other than that, he has a below average offensive game. He can be a reality going like to the actual 3-point line and mid range. He can't shoot. So like you have to really rely on him being dominant inside the paint. So Rudy Gobert, he's an excellent defender, but I feel like AD and Wemby should be more in the conversation when it comes to Defensive Player of the Year. This year, yeah. I think AD's the front runner for Defensive Player.
AD's defense has been. I mean, not their team defense is trash. Like, I mean, AD cool, but their team defense has sucked. So I think that's the issue.
But you see it though. But the impact that Anthony Davis has on the Lakers when he's playing on the defensive end is a better impact than anybody else in the league, because like the Lakers, bro, without AD on the floor, their defense is 0 to none.
No, he doesn't. If he had a better impact, then Minnesota wouldn't be at the top of the league.
Well, Minnesota
Lakers would be at the top of the league.
Minnesota just entire core defense is better than the Lakers. Like I feel like
we did this with the Utah Jazz defense in 21. Though we wrote on here with Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I feel like AD's more important to his defense. Just for the Lakers.
The Lakers' defense is better when AD's not on the court. But
what exactly?
Now on the court?
Yeah, technically, statistically, their defense is better.
It is.
They're not better. They're not better.
I know. They're not actually better. Like you can see, AD is clearly their best defender, and he's clearly their most impactful.
They are horrible.
Technically, the defense is better.
What is your criteria for you? You got to vote on Defensive Player of the Year. What is your criteria for being the Defensive Player of the Year?
So I'm looking at versatility, production, and then also like how you're affecting, like how important you are to your to the defense for your team. So like if I remove you from your team, how low would your team drop in defense? You know what I'm saying? Like if I remove Rudy Gobert from the Timberwolves, I mean their defense will drop, but it's not going to be as impactful as AD is to the Lakers. So
isn't Wemby the Defensive Player of the Year by that standard?
Wemby, no, because Wemby, I mean, like, even though, that's what I said, Wemby and AD. So if you got Wemby, I'm not mad at that. So you saying, like, but I have AD, but Wemby and AD are more front runners to me than Rudy Gobert. So, yeah, if you say Wemby, that's fine. But I have Anthony Davis, because versatility, how can you go on the perimeter? Can you guard inside the interior? How important you are to your defense? Like, how bad would the defense be without you on the floor? And I think AD is the most important defender.
Now, you individually as a defender, how does that tie into it? So does rebounding matter? Things like that, like rim protection, paint present, does that matter? Yes. So the fact that Rudy Gobert is a better rebounder than Wemby today, which is basically the last line of defense when you're playing defense, you got to stop people and you got to rebound the basketball. Does that matter to you at all?
No, it definitely does. What's the rebounding averages for those two?
Well,
Wemby's about 10, Rudy's about 13.
13 and 13. Okay.
Now, how much that affects your unit when you holding teams to one shot as opposed to you being a 9-10 rebounding game guy where teams are getting 3 and 4 offensive rebounds against you on the regular. And I don't mean this for Wemby because I don't think Wemby is at that level yet. I do think at some point that he's going to be the best defensive player in the game. But when you're talking about being the best, when you're talking about defensive player of the year, to your criteria, when you talk about specifically production, well, a team that's in first place overall defensively, if you take Rudy off that unit, you lose paint presence. You lose those 13 rebounds, which means those second chance points increase. Those offensive rebounds increase, which means those 3-point shots, those 3-point attempts increase when you take that off the crew, as opposed to when you got a guy like Wemby, when you take him off the crew, well, he doesn't rebound as much, which means teams are already cleaning glass against us. We're already
10.5 rebounds. That's
not
for a rookie.
That's pretty. 10.5 rebounds. That's crazy.
So the 10 rebounds. Well, you take him off the floor. They're still a bad rebounding team. They're not still a good rebounding team. So they're still getting second chance opportunities, way more than what's going on in Minnesota. Now, if you have Rudy on the floor, we're much better in the interior. We're much better at the rim. We can play faster. Not only can we play faster, we could get more in transition off the strength that we got a rim protector who can speed the game up. We got a rim protector who we know is going to hold down the paint. Anthony Davis does that. The separator is the consistency of that. And of the guys that have been playing defense this year, Rudy Gobert has been the most consistent, which is why, one, they're at the top of the league and why I think he's the defensive player of the year.
The thing about it is I feel like you can be more consistent when you have more perimeter defenders as well on your team. Rudy Gobert has the luxury of the guys that's trying to get to the rim getting bumped up by Anthony Edwards slowed down. AD is trying to recover.
When he didn't have any of that, though? When he didn't have any of those defenders and they were the best.
No, that's a good year, but even that year, man, I don't know if he should have won that one either. So I mean,
they had the best defense in the league, and he was Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley.
Who should have won that one? Who should have won that one?
Well, Anthony Davis probably.
Who played 40 games?
Probably. So he's not really.
No, I can't.
Wait, are you a Laker fan? Are you a Laker fan?
No, LeBron's on the team. So
no. It was somebody else that season that should have won over Rudy Gobert. I can't remember exactly.
Who was all in contention?
Ben Simmons, Draymond, Bam, and Giannis.
Okay, I think it was Giannis. Yeah, Giannis should have won it over him. I'm pretty sure.
Let me just ask this. Should Rudy Gobert have 0 defensive player of the year?
I mean, you can argue that. I mean, yeah. You can argue that.
That would explain why he didn't deserve the 21 defensive player of the year.
I mean, you can argue. I mean, yes, every year that he won it, I mean, there was other guys, like you say, like Giannis, AD. It was other couple people that was in the race for it. So, I mean, you could definitely argue that. But
so Dion, real quick, I just want to put this on your mind, and I remember this from when it happened. So in 2021, when he won the Defensive Player of the Year, I think they were 3rd in the league in defense. When he was off the floor, they were 27th in the league. That's 3rd from last when he was off the floor. So when you talk about impact, that's exactly what you're talking about. So a team that goes from being a top 3 team defensively to a bottom 3 team, there is nobody else in the league that has that kind of impact on the defense than him.
That year is good. You can get it. That's fine. But me personally, when it comes to it, this year, speaking to this year, I think AD has been more impactful on the defensive end. Just because, like I said, bro, the defense of the Lakers, without AD, I know it's in a small sample size, but when you can just tell when he's not on the floor, they have no interior pressure at all. And then on the switches, AD can go out there and guard the perimeter too as well. Something Rudy Gobert cannot do as well as Anthony Davis. And then Wemby, he averages more blocks than Rudy Gobert too. So Wemby is out there, he's having a lot of high block games. I'm taking Wemby at the rim because of his size. He's over 7'4", 7'5". So I'm taking him at the rim over Rudy Gobert too. This year.
Quick side note: is it me or when I'm watching yesterday with Denver and San Antonio, Joker does not look that much smaller than Wemby.
Height wise.
Yes.
To me, he looks smaller.
He did not. I don't know. Maybe I need a new prescription. Maybe I need to get new.
He looks smaller. He looked wider.
Yeah, he's definitely bigger. He's definitely bigger. I won't argue that. But from a height standpoint, he does not look that much shorter than Wemby.
Yo, I gotta ask everybody. Speaking of Rudy Gobert, I need everybody's top 5 defenders in the NBA, regardless of position.
Oh, okay. So
regardless of position, who do you value?
Dylon, and Dylon.
Nah, so I can't push it.
Shout out Dylon.
Men Thompson propaganda. That's tough, man.
It's obviously Rudy. It's Bam. I guess AD's on there still somehow.
Yes. Wow.
Somehow.
Let me see.
What are you talking about? Somehow.
What?
And then are we doing wings too? Because
We just talking about
It's regardless of position. If you think there's a wing who's a top 5 defender in the league, the only one I'm naming is Jonathan Isaac.
I mean, since we going minute by minute, we got Peyton Watson. I'm just playing. I would say Jonathan Isaac, AD, Rudy, Bam.
Go ahead.
Jonathan Isaac is Mars. I will agree with you. Jonathan Isaac, for the minutes that he plays, I don't know if there's a guy more valuable. Is Jonathan Isaac a better defender than Jaden McDaniels?
Yes. He better than Herb Jones. If you're going to ask about him, he better than Alex Caruso. If you're going to ask about him, he better than him.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see it in the playoffs. I swear he gonna play like 23, 24.
I mean, I watched the Clipper game. I watched the Clipper game a couple of nights ago where Paul George took him. That was a tough shot. That was a tough shot.
They were just making some nonsense. It's cool. It happens.
Yeah, that was a tough shot over Paul George. I'm not sure I'm taking Jaden McDaniel. I'm not sure I'm taking Jonathan.
Who's Jaden locking up? You think he's gonna lock up somebody in the playoffs?
I do think he's gonna slow. Nobody's locking up anybody, but I do think he's gonna slow some guys down. I do.
You guys,
I think Jaden McDaniels.
He ain't even the best wing defender in the Western Conference. You want to have a conversation?
Wait, one more time.
He ain't the best wing defender in the Western Conference.
Oh, I think it's Herb Jones. I think it's Herb Jones, to be honest.
Yeah, who is Smacker?
Where do y'all have Giannis?
Herb, Draymond is a better wing defender all the way around. We having a conversation. I'm putting man, y'all be tripping.
Wait, so what's your wing defender?
Yeah, I'm about to,
right.
I mean, you know what I mean. If you can guard wings,
you'd rather have Draymond's on ball.
Nah, bro. I'm not saying rather. I'm just saying he can also do it at an elite level. Relax, brother. Goodness gracious. This is all propaganda to get Aaron.
You said he was
better.
Conversation.
Oh, Aaron Gordon. Okay, there we go. Okay,
this is all propaganda.
I was wondering what Denver.
I should have went straight there. I'm sorry.
Okay,
fellas, we got to bring it back. We got to bring it back. Swiper, finish out your top 5. You had
Wemby's 5.
Wemby's 5. All right, cool. Ox, we ain't heard from you today, my brother. Who's your top 5 defenders in the league, regardless of position?
Oh, that's tough to just throw it out there that quick. I wrote down a quick 5, but I'll probably say Rudy. Oh damn, I don't got Wemby on here either. Damn, man, 5.
Yeah, he's so young.
Rudy. Yeah, he's so young. I'm not putting that young boy on the list yet. Well, I got to because I'm putting Herb and Jaden on the list. Okay, so yeah, Rudy, AD, Wemby, Jaden, and Herb. I like my man from big fella from Cavs. I like him though. Why I always forget Jared? Jared. Evan's been a big disappointment to me these past couple of seasons.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
What's wrong with him? He did.
I'm not sure about that young man. If y'all remember when he last year, I was saying give him 5 years, 7 years. We'll be talking about him amongst some of the great power forwards.
You was doing the KG thing. Yeah, you just
like who specifically? It wasn't KG. It was somebody else.
Well, I didn't say he was going to be as good as them. I said he'll be in that conversation with like some of the top.
But what's wrong with his? You don't like his defense? You're saying, or you're just overall?
I don't like everything. I don't like anything like I thought I would. None of it's what I thought it would be.
Okay.
The defense to me is
as a whole. I'm not. Not even breaking down.
I think he got bullied by the
game
Knicks
and everything.
Playoffs, honestly.
But I'm just talking about just as a whole basketball player. He's not what I thought he was going to be, and it doesn't look like he's going to be what I thought he was going to be.
Damn. You ain't gonna give him more time, bro?
I mean, I don't got to give him anything. I'm gonna wait. I'm just saying, like today, I'm gonna say that I was wrong last year. Now next year, I might be like, hey, I was right. You know what I'm saying?
2 years ago. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So who knows?
For sure.
We'll see. He definitely has to get stronger because he was getting bullied. You're right about that, Dion. He was getting bullied. He gets punked a lot. He gotta get more. But it's not always about being strong. It's about mindset, though. Like you got to be a dog.
Yeah. Facts.
I don't think he's a dog.
And it's about being strong too. And it's also about being strong.
Gotta get away from him.
I mean, I said that, but it's just, you can be strong and still be weak-minded and still get bullied. So
and you can be right, and you can be tough-minded and get pushed around. It happened.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Just because upstairs you tough for it. Yes, sir.
Chill. That's right. You can be tough-minded and get pushed around. That's right. Tell him, Mox. Tell him, Mox.
That can happen.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you regardless. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Mindset, strength. You could get bullied. I just don't want to keep seeing him get bullied. That's what I'm saying. Like you got to get tougher. He got to get tougher. Yeah, he's gonna get heavier. He's gonna get stronger. But he got to get tougher mentally too, though. Like Mm-hmm. My thing is he just doesn't look like he's fighting. He's just kind of like accepts getting pushed. It's kind of like
you know who I think could be one of the better wing defenders in the league if they get older. I mean, he's going to have a heavy offensive load, but I think Paolo can get in those combos. Like when he actually like is able to lock in and knows what he's doing consistently when he gets like 25 years old, bro. Yo, he's going to be.
Why do you say this? You've seen signs, or just because it's
he's I mean, he's 6'10", 250. Everything's there.
Yeah, is it because of his actual like?
Well, no, he's already a good defender. I'm saying that like he just doesn't. You just don't know what you don't know though. Like I'm saying, like you learn as you go. Like, and I think his offensive responsibility is always going to be key. But I think that, and I said this earlier this year, but I think Paolo, you know, where Jason Tatum was 2021, I think that was the year right before they took down KD in the first round. I think Paolo could get there in like 2 years. I think he could be a 27, 8-5 player, 27, 8-4 player, good efficiency, and be like a very good defender. I think Paolo, man, like in terms of a star, like an offensive leaning star, he could be legitimately one of the best wing defenders in the league. Now, obviously, Franz and them have better chances because they don't have to do as much, but I think Paolo can be one of the star level defenders.
Interesting.
You don't like Paulo's defense? You don't like, or just like his game?
No, I don't think his defense is like very good right now, but do I think it can be? Yeah, possibly. I wouldn't.
Where do you see him struggle most? I know he struggles off ball, but I'm saying, do you think he would ever be a weakness as a defender, like at this point?
Weakness,
awareness.
Nah, I don't think he's the person you're targeting. I mean, well, considering what Orlando is, maybe he might be, but like generally speaking, I don't think he's like a liability on defense. I do think of like their starters.
I mean, Markelle Fultz when he's starting, or one of them, but yeah,
like he's not better than Jalen Suggs. I don't think he's better than Franz. Wendell, I don't think he's better than Wendell, and then obviously Jonathan Isaac off the bench, he's not better than him.
But they
just with what they have, he's like.
But Mars, think about this. Think about when Paolo gets better as a playmaker or Franz, and then they just put next to Jalen, and Jalen obviously can do it, and they just put like Jonathan Isaac in there.
Yeah, they're going to have one of the best like defensive for the modern NBA. It's going to be ridiculous. I think Paolo can become a very strong defender, but as of now, I don't think he's there yet. And I think I'm not as comfortable. I don't know where I project Paolo. Like I know a lot of people are very high on him. I don't know where I project him. I'm very high on his playmaking. I'm very high on his physicality and his ability in transition. But generally, in the half court, I'm not very moved by his ability to finish around the rim. His free throws are a major concern. He's just not a good free throw shooter at all. And then defensively and rebounding wise, I think he leaves a lot to be desired. But he's 21, so he got time. Yeah.
Fellas, top 5 defenders. Chill, Mars, Dion. Chill, let's start with you.
Rudy, McDaniels, Herb, Anthony Davis, Giannis. Evan Mobley's going to be back in that next season.
You got him?
Yes, he's going to be back in that next season.
Does Evan Mobley steal any defensive players of the year? And I don't want to say steal, but does he?
Okay, well, first of all, yes, he does. I think he's going to be regarded, not even before his career is over, but I think at some point, I think it's going to be a serious conversation about him being the best defensive player in the game. I think when Wemby gets to that point, and when I say get to that point, I mean 92 Jordan, 90. No, not next year.
Next year, right? You don't think he could be win a DPOY?
I don't mean.
It depends on how good the Spurs defense is.
What I'm saying, Swiper, is when Wemby gets to that in terms of a defensive level, when he gets to 93 Lajuan, when he gets to 13 James, when he gets to that point, I think there's going to be a considerable gap. But I feel like I feel like there's going to be a point where Evan Mobley, he's going to be in the conversation as the best defensive player in the game, and I think we're going to get back to that really soon. This season, he was banged up and he wasn't able to perform at the level that he was able to perform to because he was battling injuries. I mean, it's the same dude last year who finished in the top 3
in his age group though.
I don't even know if he's better than Chet. I'm gonna be honest, but
I do think he's a better defensive player.
Jaren Jackson Jr. also exists there too.
Definitely think he's better than Jaren.
No, Jaren's slightly older than those guys.
He's a better rebounder.
Yeah, but Mobley's 22?
No, not Wemby.
Mobley is 22.
I think 20,
yeah, Mobley's at 22. Going 23. And Chet, I think is 21. 21. 20. Yeah, right. Chet's 21, and I think Wemby's 20.
That's tough. That's tough, chill. I'm not saying like the skill set's not there, But there's a lot of good young elite defenders in the league.
100%. And
right.
I think what you missing, Swiper, is as good as the young defensive players are in the NBA. Evan Mobley's at the top of that list. Don't forget, he finished in the top 3 last year in year 2 in defensive player of the year.
Wemby and Chet weren't in the league yet.
But Wemby's going to be 2 this year as a rook.
Right, exactly. So Wemby's gonna be in the top 2, top 3 in defensive player of the year as a rook. Evan Mobley was in the top 3 in year 2. So I mean, it's not like there's a considerable gap. It's not like he was in year 5 and he finally got there. He was in his 2nd year as a glass cleaner, as a rim protector, versatile on the wing, could defend in the paint. Yeah, he got pushed around, and I think that's largely due to him being young. I don't think that Evan Mobley is soft. I don't. I think that Evan Mobley just needs to grow up. That's all it is, more than anything. I had him in that mold in terms of a defender of KG. That's what I saw when I saw him coming in the league. And I think that he could be that good as a defender before it's all said and done.
KG is very versatile, though. I mean, is Evan Mobley will be guard on the perimeter like KG?
I do think that, yes. I do think that he can. I think he can guard on the perimeter. I do think that he can guard in space. I think that we don't give him enough credit as a closeout defender. His ability to move his feet and beat guys to spots. And also, which is another thing that I really like Wemby. I also like this for Evan Mobley because your ability to recover means a lot to me. Like I watched Wemby smack the ball back in Joker's face twice yesterday after getting beat. I see that with Evan Mobley.
Not too much.
Smacked it in his face twice yesterday.
He was locking him.
Wemby's crazy, bro. Wemby's crazy. Hold on, chill. Did you see the scoop? He did a scoop on
the weekend, by the way,
across his body, and then went down the court, and then Jokic tried to get his little patented up and under.
Smacked it right back in his face.
Yo,
absolutely.
Chill.
Hell, quadruple double, 9 blocks yesterday.
Yes.
Chill. Pause.
Would have got 10 if Christian Brown went up with that layup, but he got scared and kicked.
Right. Now he made the right decision too.
Yeah.
Mars, can we get your top 5?
It's just gonna be all bigs, and that's upsetting because I can't say
So?
Ben Thompson. Nah, because I want to show love. But Rudy, no order. Rudy, Wemby, AD, Jonathan Isaac. Yeah, that's the fact.
Say that one more time.
Rudy, Wemby, AD, Bam, and Jonathan Isaac.
So Chet hasn't made nobody's at least honorable mention. I know you.
There's a lot. Well, if you want honorable mention, I wanted to do it positionally. I wanted to give Jalen Suggs a mention. I wanted to give Ben Thompson a mention. Alex Caruso, Jaden McDaniels, Herb Jones, but they just don't make the same impact offensively, in my opinion. And Chet is like, he's elite defensively, but do I think he's better than Bam or AD or Rudy or Wemby? No. So then it would just be, Jonathan Isaac versus Chet. And for me, what Jonathan Isaac can do defensively in terms of versatility, rim protection, but his also ability to play passing lanes. And then his man defense on the perimeter is borderline outstanding for a guy his size, his ability to defend the pick and roll as not only the primary defender, but also as the big defender is second to none. He can play any coverage. The only argument, I think Jonathan Isaac would be unanimous if he played 25 minutes a game. The only reason he's not is because 15 minutes, some people are hesitant. So, unfortunately, I think there's just a lot of great defenders in the league, and Chet's not top 5 right now. But I think he'll be top 5 sooner rather than later, in my opinion, because I think Rudy's going to tailor off. AD's, 30? He probably got a couple more years left. And I think Chet will be better than Bam soon. No disrespect to Bam, but I think he'll be better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Is it crazy to say that Chet got more tools than Bam on the defensive end?
I think the rim protection is. I think the rim protection is the separator. To be honest with you,
like he's a longer defender, but more tools. I don't know, because Bam, like his agility and his ability to still guard bigs is like, you can't do really much about that. But
Bam's just crazy.
7'1", 7'6" wingspan or something like that. So, and his timing, his ability to target the ball is like, it's Tim Duncan-esque to me. Like his
Mars, did you just say 7'6" wingspan? It's almost 7.5 feet. What the hell?
It's crazy. And then you put him next to Wemby, and it's like he looks small. And like that's insane to me. Like Wemby's 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan. Like
that's not.
What do you do with that? I mean, you can't do that.
You don't do anything with that. You don't. You don't do anything with that.
The league coming in with some crazy defense. Alex Sarr in this year's draft projects to be a very good defender. Like,
who you think they're taking at the top of the draft, bro? I think they would another They think gonna get like the guard, or they think they're gonna go like the Sar or Cody Williams route. Yeah,
the Spurs.
That I would like to see them get another Sar or Cody Williams. Like if they get the opportunity, they can like I don't know, bro. Just more length on the court.
I think it depends on what pick they get. If it's the number 1 pick, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, they're not getting Cody.
But if they get like the 4th, 5th pick, I wouldn't be surprised if they looked at Nikola Topic just as a guard, as an option, as a playmaker, pick and roll player, ability to get downhill. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked at him. Cody Williams would be intriguing with that Spurs development, just because he's already got like great feel for the game, secondary playmaking, defensive tools. I'm not very high on his shooting ability, but that can be figured out. So him. Other than that, no one in that draft is really intriguing me, like in terms of long term. Like Reed Shepherd is nice, but come on. I'm not very high on Risa Shea as a star potential. So I think it would have to be Sar, Topic, or Cody Williams, unless I'm forgetting someone. I might be forgetting someone. Ron Holland. I like Ron Holland. That's what I'm forgetting. Ron Holland. I like him a lot, but he can't shoot, so that might be a concern for them. But those 4, that's who I'd be looking at if I was the Spurs. Probably Topic though, because they like their little European guards or overseas guards.
Dion, I need the real top 5 defenders in the NBA.
Yes, sir. So my top 5, man, is pretty simple, man. We got Anthony Davis, Wemby, Rudy Gobert, Kawhi Leonard, and Giannis. And
Shout out to Kawhi.
I know Kawhi Leonard has been, had battling injuries, with the back injuries and all that nature.
I'm looking at Giannis.
Why are you looking at Giannis? What are you talking about? When you look at versatile defenders, man, inside the league, Giannis is like top 5. And then on top of it, like his presence, like he can guard on the perimeter, he can guard on the inside. And then Giannis on top of that has been a top 5 defender over like the last 3 years. Like
I've never seen somebody
he hasn't felt
so
that much of a
consistently in the playoffs, and then it just not matter because he's not an on-ball defender. Crazy.
I mean,
really
I think his on-ball defense is better this year. I think his on-ball defense is better.
And his ability to recover has been better too.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think, but other than Motor, because I think they've
been really good when he's on the court, though. He's been really good.
His consistent motor is worse, but I think like defensively, I do think he's better. Like when he locks in, I think he's better than he's ever been defensively this year. So I'll give him credit for that.
That's why I can't. He got cooked by Chris.
Oh, I've been telling people about Corey.
Which, by the way, I think he's kind of because I would have gotten I'm confident that I would have gotten roasted.
You watched the playoff last year?
It's interesting, Swiper, because I watched Oklahoma City lose to Detroit, and that kind of went over everybody's head. I watched Milwaukee lose to Washington, who is the worst team in the league.
And Ronnie make a title out of it, by the way.
Not once. Not once.
That's not the top headline of the night.
If the Celtics would have lost, I would have heard it. If the Celtics would have lost to Washington, I would have gotten roasted by the chat about Jason Tatum ain't this and he's not. I would have gotten destroyed if they would have lost to Detroit.
To the Hawks twice.
I would have gotten destroyed for that.
They lost to the Wizards.
The fact, right? Exactly. The Washington Wizards are the worst team in the league, Swiper.
Absolutely.
The worst.
Absolutely.
And it's not a question. They're the worst team in the league.
But why would you not swipe? It's crazy. What's up with the Giannis hate when it comes to defense, bro? Why do y'all hate Giannis on defense, bro? Like, what are you not? Yeah, like, what are you not seeing that you don't think Giannis is a top 5 defender? Like, I mean,
there's a lot I'm not seeing, but like this top 5, there's a lot of good defenders in the league.
I don't think
saying, "Oh, Giannis, you're the 8th best defender in the league" is like.
It's not ridiculous to say that.
Because you can put him in the top 3. Like Giannis can be arguably top 3.
Question that you have to ask when
I'm not taking him over Rudy.
I'm not doing that.
He's not top 10, bro.
Wemby, Rudy, AD, Bam, right there. That's easy. That's easy.
I don't think Bam's a better defender.
Hold on, Dion.
You love versatility. What?
Yeah. Who's more versatile than Bam?
I have Giannis over Wemby.
He's not more versatile than Bam.
I'm hearing a lot of picking
really quick.
He's not even a better switch defender or an on-ball defender than Bam.
Even if that's true,
a big defender.
Even if that's true, Swiper. Ox, name 10 defenders in the league better than Giannis right now. Do it.
Well, we just named 5, so keep going, Ox. We just named 5.
That's not 5. Go ahead, Ox.
Name 10 of them, Ox.
Hold on, real quick. Let me make sure I don't name because I got on my list already Rudy, AD, Bam, Jaden, and Herb. Right? Okay, so that's not even including Wemby, Chet, Jared Allen.
Jared Allen is a better.
On my list. Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
I'm listening. Go ahead, keep going.
What I say? Wemby, Chet, Jared Allen, and then Drew, Jonathan Isaac,
Holiday.
Alex, Jonathan
Holiday?
Isaac, yes,
and Jonathan Isaac,
Alex Caruso,
Caruso.
So that's 11.
That's 11 guys.
I would disagree with a couple of them. But I would disagree with a couple of them.
That's all right. But
I didn't say no guards. Just to be clear.
I have a hard time, but I
just think Giannis is a hype defender. That's all. I just think he's.
What's a hype defender? So what?
Hype defender? I mean, he's not as good as people say he is on defense.
So how
Draymond
good?
too. Don't forget Draymond. Good look at chat. Draymond.
I agree with Dre. I agree with Dre.
Yeah. I do not think that. I don't think that. Not this season. No.
Every season.
You said who?
Draymond.
Not better than Giannis this year?
No.
Come on, brother.
You think Giannis is a better defender than Draymond Green?
Yes, this season, absolutely. Yes.
Draymond,
you see the impact for Giannis.
I saw the impact yesterday. I showed it versus the Mavs. I showed it.
I seen that Klay Thompson travel. The refs ain't want to cool. But
hey, relax, Mars. You're a Houston Rockets fan. Leave your bias at the door. Okay.
He traveled.
Y'all try. I don't know why the Warriors try.
I see James Harden travel plenty. And y'all won playoff games off them travels. I don't want to hear it.
I seen James Harden get fouled on threes and they ain't want to call it in that game 7. But
he still won. They won. He's fine.
We ain't win that game 7. We ain't win that game 7.
Won. KD stepped out of bounds. That's the only thing you should have to playoff. That's it. Everything else you deserve. Anyway, move on.
I think Joel Embiid might be a better defender than Giannis.
Well, he is a better defender in the playoff. That's easy.
I'll say this because we're going to talk about Joel at some point. Playoff Joel Embiid is one of the best defenders we've seen in the last 10 years, and he doesn't get.
I won't argue. I won't argue.
He doesn't get enough respect for his defense in the playoffs because everyone focuses on his scoring going down. His defense levels up to.
Embiid was definitely a better defender in the first 34 games this year, by the way.
He should actually be in the conversation with Anthony Davis and Joe.
No, that's too much.
I remember Joel Embiid when he was up for
2019.
When he was up for Defensive Player of the Year. I remember that Joel Embiid. So he should be in the fact that he's gotten injured, the way he's gotten injured, that slowed him down. This season when he was playing, when he was healthy, he was playing at an all-league defensive level.
Yeah, he was playing
guarding the rim.
He was playing versus the Kentucky Blue Dogs. So yeah, I agree.
Last I checked, this is not college football.
But if I say something about Clay's travel, it's biased. But he can say whatever he wants about Embiid, then it's fine. Even though
I said Embiid's a better defender than Giannis. Chill. Don't shake your head at me in disappointment. All right, I said he was a better defender than Giannis, and you disagreed, sir. I don't hear that.
Fellas, before we get to talking about Joel Embiid, because we're going to talk about Embiid.
Right.
We're going to talk about the Sixers. We're going to talk about how he looked last night and all of that good stuff. I got super chats to get to, so I want to go ahead and honor our good people that send it through their good hard-earned money and read their super chats. Also, I want to encourage everybody to like the video. If you haven't yet, what you waiting for? You see it's a QR code right under the big ox down there on the bottom right corner. Go ahead and hit that QR code. Go check out playerschoicemerch.com. Also, we will be on playback tonight. Well, Dom will be on playback tonight watching his Orlando Magic play against the New Orleans Pelicans. That should be a good game. I'm interested. 2 young cores, 2 young teams, playoff teams. That should be a fun
Jonathan
one.
Isaac on Zion. Yeah.
How's that about to go?
Terrible. Well. Zion's probably going to drop 30 tonight. Zion's dropping 30 tonight on him.
Here we go. Okay.
So you got the Pelicans winning tonight, Dion?
Yeah, I had the Pelicans winning tonight. I think Zion is on a different level. I mean, 23-7-6 since All-Star break. Very in shape, looking dominant. I don't think Isaac can step in front of him, honestly. So we're going to see.
Okay.
Is Jonathan Isaac the best person to guard Giannis?
Giannis.
Zion.
The best. I think it takes a team to guard.
If you got one defender, you can't send no help, and it's like, buddy, I need you to go lock Zion up.
The thicker the better. The thicker the better.
You said Aaron Gordon?
I mean, I agree with that swipe up,
Jared Jackson Jr.
Not really in this case.
What do you mean? Was Zion? I mean, you need to be quick and thicker. So, I'm taking one of those two probably.
I probably got 80 on that.
Locked in 4-quarter LeBron. AD doesn't do well with strength, my brother.
I'm not gonna lie. I might have Jonathan Isaac. Aaron Gordon is what I'm considering.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He tends to struggle against the Bucks. So let's just say
a bonus.
You said Sabonis. I mean, Sabonis not better.
I'm not mad at Aaron Gordon. Gordon.
He did a lot for me in the
Bam might be another one too. Somebody said, yeah, Bam might be another one.
Yes.
I still got Jonathan Isaac, man.
You got him. You have him for the amount of minutes he plays, which I can get with that logic, Mars. No doubt about it. If he could play 25, 30 minutes, we might have a conversation.
He will in the playoffs. He will.
Well,
if they're going to play the Knicks first round, I guarantee you're going to see him play 23, 24, 25 minutes again. Guarantee.
Shaq got the Orlando Magic sweeping the Knicks. He said that.
If Jonathan Isaac played 25 minutes, it might be a 5-game series.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I just threw up a poll. Who's winning tonight? The Pelicans or the Magic? I want to hear how you guys feel about it. While you doing that, go hit the like button, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit these super chats. Dougie King said, "This is for Ron. How about it? Talk about the Bucks like you do with the Celtics, which is one of the worst losing. Which is worse, losing to the Hawks or losing to the Wizards? Celtics lose a game or two. They cooked, but not so with the Bucks. With they cooked coach.
Dame didn't play.
What are they? What are they? 14-14 since 15-14.
Something like that.
14.
They're not a good basketball team. They're not a good basketball team. It's really that simple.
Is it really
that coach?
And the Bucks can't win games without Damian Lillard. So for all we want to say about Dame's fell off, Dame's this, Dame's that, they can't win games when Dame doesn't play. Like I don't know what their record is without Dame. I could probably look it up, but it's bad. And then when Dame plays and like the other stars don't play, Middleton and Giannis doesn't play, they win. So Dame's been impactful in that regard, at least. So shout out to him. Losing to the Wizards.
Yeah, but that was a bad loss last night. Malik Beasley couldn't hit the side of the backboard.
They're 1-6 without Dame.
But
I mean, they got rid of their defender and their point guard and Drew Holiday. So I mean, they're going to need that offensive ability from Dame every single night. And if he's not there, the team looks more horrible. But I just feel like, they're going through a down stretch. But I feel like in the playoffs, like we still have a Dame and Giannis. I'm very comfortable with them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals again.
The down stretch of 30 games.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, they're still 500. They're around 500. That's fine.
Dame's been injured a couple games. Giannis has been injured a couple games.
It's a new coach. You know what I'm saying? It's a new coach.
A bad coach, yeah.
What team are you really going to take over
Philly? We're going to get to Philly. We're going to get to Philly. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get to Philly.
Anything else on the Bucks?
The Bucks will make to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not overreacting to a loss against the Wizards. I'm not overreacting to that.
You said how much? $1 million?
How much you putting on that? $1 million?
$1 million?
They're 16.
Now we trolling. Now we trolling.
So look, they're 16-14. You know what their wins are? They have beaten Charlotte. They beat the Pelicans once. They beat Philly without Embiid. Denver when they were going through that losing streak for All-Star break. They beat Chicago. They did beat Dallas. I don't know. This was
in Dallas, by the way.
Early February.
In Dallas. February.
They beat Charlotte. They beat Phoenix. They beat Philly without Embiid. They beat the Clippers without Kawhi and PG.
No Giannis, by the way. Don't leave that out. When they smoked Phoenix.
And then they beat them another time too, though.
So they beat them twice.
I think they beat them twice. But
okay.
So a couple good teams right there.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know like the situation for. I mean, 3 of those wins are good, maybe all together. Like they don't have like an impressive win profile. Their losses have come against, and then they lost to the Lakers, without LeBron twice. Like it's just, they're just not playing good basketball. It's really that simple.
Well, you preaching to the choir when you're talking to me about Milwaukee. I'm on record saying this months ago. I think they fool's gold, no doubt about it.
But you believe in Jason Tatum and the Celtics, though.
Yes, I do.
We're not doing
more than I do Milwaukee. So
how can you say that? How can you say that?
More than I do Milwaukee. So
how can you say that you trust the Celtics more than Milwaukee Bucks? I'm not trusting Jason Tatum over Giannis. I'm not trusting Jaylen Brown over Damian Lillard. I'm not trusting that.
Wait. What has Dame done? Respectfully, what has Dame done?
What do you mean was Dame? He's one of the clutchest players to ever exist.
No, he's not. Not in the playoffs.
Yes, he is. I mean,
he's never had a good series past the first round.
In the playoffs, every time in the past, he didn't have nobody like a Giannis. You know what I'm saying? To not get double team, triple team in the playoffs.
You're right. He just had
Giannis now.
You're right. He had a backcourt mate who averaged 20 a game for 6 years. He did have that.
But see, come on, CJ.
He did have that.
100%.
100%.
We've just been praising CJ for what he's done.
Not only that. Why are you talking about Damian Lillard on just the offensive side of the basketball? Because that's it. So we just buckets. So he ain't gonna slow anybody down. Is that what he's not gonna do? Even though he got his ass kicked. Right. So why is he one of the most clutch players if he's not going to slow anybody down or attempt to slow anybody down? Which is why mainly they've been losing in the playoffs off the strength that he hasn't been able to slow anybody down. In fact, what's one of the major problems that the Milwaukee Bucks have this year that you just said? You just talked about that, right? So now we're talking about perimeter defense, but then we're talking about Damian Lillard being one of the most clutch players in the game. Even though we all know that Giannis does not want to go to the stripe in the meat and potatoes of the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to hunt Damian Lillard. But we're also going to foul Giannis to go to the free throw line. But I believe in Milwaukee more than I believe in another team. All right, I'm good.
So the thing about it for me is, okay, when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, man, I just feel like Damian Lillard and Giannis complement each other so well. So, like, the fact is, like, your name, like, he can't shoot free throws. They're going to get the ball in Dame's hand to shoot the free throws. Like, I'm pretty sure Doc Rivers knows all this going to these series. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to figure it out. That team's scary, man. You know, like Giannis, man, he's a clutch player as well. He can get it done in the fourth quarter. He's leading clutch points as right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo in the fourth quarter. And then you add Dame to that as well. So, I mean, they're going to be a scary team inside the Eastern Conference.
Good luck.
Hey, Dion.
What's up, man?
They don't make it out the first round. They're
absolutely. If they play
they
Philly,
can't guard anybody.
If they play Philly, yeah, they don't make it out the first round.
What?
We'll get to it. Superchats.
Justin said, with the recent explosion of women's basketball, it got me messed up that we won't see what Gigi Bryant would have been. I think she would have been one of them ones for real.
Yeah, shout out Gigi.
Yeah,
peace.
RIP.
I like burritos. Said, hope we get Tari/Jabari on a cheaper deal. So we keep most of the core long term. Cam, I'm 50-50 because him and Jalen would play the exact same role. Whoever goes just comes down to what deals they want.
Yeah, that's the issue with most young cores is how do you have the money to pay them?
Right.
I'm assuming, I know you don't have to extend Sengun or Jalen this year. You can let them become restricted next year and then just match whatever offer they get. I'm not sure how that would go down, especially with Sengun, in terms of has he not done enough for the franchise to trust him with a max extension? But max rookie extension. Yeah, I think Sengun has done enough to justify that, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
What's that? 40? That 40 now? 40 mil a year?
I think it's somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah. So I think Sengun. I think you probably got to look at extending Sengun for a max rookie extension. I'd expect Jalen Green to play for the max next year. I think that's probably what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't extend both of them and just let them both play next season for money's sake. But I think it's reasonable to assume you're probably going to end up extending both of them, whether that's this year or next year, probably for rookie max extensions. And then it's how do you then deal with the extension of Jabari that will be coming up, and then Jabari and Tari, and then Amen and Cam, because Amen and Cam are the last eligible ones, obviously. And I think you have to pay Amen Thompson. I think Jabari will probably command, if not a max rookie extension, somewhere in the range of like 28 to 32 million a year with the way the current market's going. Tari is probably in the range of 18 to 24. And then after that, you're kind of running out of money. So that's where the concerns come in. But I think if you got two young rookies who are capable of playing at a rookie max level, you're in a good spot, regardless of what else you have to do.
Key said, yo, Leon, did you see how we did the New Orleans Pelicans last week? Who's Leon? I mean, Dion or?
Dion with an L.
To me. Do you see how the New Orleans Pelicans last week? Okay, so the thing about this is what I keep trying to tell you guys. The New Orleans Pelicans, man, being top 6 inside of the West, they're probably one of the most surprising teams to make the playoffs this year. I mean, a lot of us probably thought they was going to be battling inside the play-in before the season started. So, I mean, Zion Williams, man, I mean, the fact that he heard all that noise, being out of shape, in the beginning of the season, getting called Jelly Boy, all this different nature. Now that he's in shape, I feel like he can be one of the front runners inside the playoffs they can honestly pull an upset, in the first couple rounds. So I truly think the Pelicans right now is one of those teams to not sleep on if you have to face them in the first round.
Keys also said, J.I. gonna ball. And Ron, let me hold it down on playback with Damo covering my magic. Pull up. Damo be letting people up. So pull up. He might rock with you.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes on later, I'll show him this. He might be on the lookout for you.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it lit, Almighty Lambo said, Evan Mobley clears your favorite defender, bozos.
Respect Bill Russell.
Mad Max Sports Talk said Mobley already been a top 10 defender before, goofies.
Yeah, before Wemby and Chet got in the league.
That still does not. That still does
defenders
not
came in, so he moved down the list. That's just how.
Right, moving down the list as opposed to moving off the list. Those are two different things, Miles.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on how long the list is. Like Mobley came third in Defensive Player of the Year last year, but respectfully, he was one of the worst Defensive Player of the Year races we've seen in a while. I think
Jaren Jackson won.
Jaren Jackson and Brook Lopez were the top two. Like, respectfully, Wemby wins that Defensive Player of the Year. So, he came third, but once again, you look at what he was competing against. It wasn't the strongest Defensive Player of the Year class. Kind of like
they got it wrong.
Rudy and AD had it.
They might have got it wrong. Kind of like the 2022 Defensive Player of the Year class, where Marcus Smart and Mikal Bridges were the top two. Wemby wins that one too. Chet probably wins that one. So, I mean, it depends on what the competition is. Wemby's going to come second in a Defensive Player of the Year class that's going to have Bam playing at an extremely high level, Rudy on the best defense in the league. Obviously, Wemby's there. Then you got Anthony Davis, who's obviously going to get votes. AD's been injured the last 2 years, so he wasn't getting votes. It's just different. Wemby's coming second in a Defensive Player of the Year class that's better than the ones we've seen in previous years. So he just overtook Evan Mobley.
This year, due to injury, which I can get with that. I think we'll have a different conversation next year.
Wemby this year. Wemby's a better defender this year than Mobley was last year, in my opinion. I'll say in my opinion.
I won't argue that. I won't argue that. But what I will argue is that Evan Mobley's a lot better defender than you give him credit for. A lot better defender than you give him credit for.
I think he's in the top 10.
He's a great defender.
I think if Ron asked me to do top 10, I would have said Evan Mobley's name at some point. I don't
think that Wemby's the second best defender in the game yet. I do think he's close. I think he's getting close. I think we're gonna have a different conversation about him. in the next couple of years where he will be the best defender, and I feel like it's gonna be a gap. I just don't think he's there yet.
Well, that's cool, but I think we can all agree though that Bam and them are still better defenders than Evan. So even if Evan is top 10, there's still some defenders who are clearly take over him.
Right now.
Yeah. Right now. Well, Bam's what, 26? No, is he going somewhere?
I thought it was a conversation last year between Bam and Evan Mobley. I thought it was a serious conversation between Bam
I think in the playoffs, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I don't know how many defenders, period, are better than Bam come playoff time in a half-court setting. He can do everything, zone defense, he can rim protect by not allowing you to get to the rim. He can front better than basically anybody in the league. He doesn't give you space.
He's definitely undersized though. I mean, and it shows.
He's 6'9".
The undersized part doesn't matter.
But Embiid,
it does. You see what happens to him when he goes.
No, but who? But Embiid's never got him. Giannis has never got him.
Right.
Giannis averaged 23 points a game in the last two series versus the Heat, I believe. Prior to this last year, in the first one he averaged 23.
I will say that's due to more than just Bam. Though.
Yeah, it's obviously the scheme for sure. But Bam is the cog. He is the reason why it all works.
For sure.
He's the Ron. He's the host and the moderator of the defense. That's the show doesn't move forward without Ron.
The problem with Bam is Bam and Miami in general do such a good job of not allowing you to get to the rim. But if you get to the rim, you have a very good chance of scoring.
Well, who's getting to the rim on Bam though? I guess is what I'm saying in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's where you say you take the optimist will say, well, you don't get to the rim on Bam, so him not being a great rim protector. You live with it, and then the pessimist will say, but when you do get to the rim on Bam, it's basically a free.
Well, it's kind of like Denver though. Like Denver, they're a very good rim protection team, but they're not good when you get to the rim. But that's because they do so much to prevent you from getting into that area.
Those two things are the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rim protection is, and I think what's great is rim protection has evolved in the modern era because of how dynamic offenses are. Look, we might give up a 60%. When you get to the rim, you might have a 60% effective field goal against me, but you're not getting here at a high clip. You're going to shoot that mid-range shot or those corner threes. Yeah.
Keeping you away from the rim is a lot more effective than actually getting to the rim and blocking shots.
MP13 said, chill. You need to ask for royalties for that Tim Duncan soundbite. You are everywhere on basketball, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. It's hilarious to see.
Yeah, I keep getting tagged. Everyone tagging me like I wasn't right there, like I didn't see it happen. Like I was right there. You don't need to tag me in it. I know what happened. I was there. Everyone just tagging me because I'm there laughing in the background. Like, chill out.
Hey,
you guys have You guys have anything to say about that clip? After the fact.
Dion was cooking. AD
was right.
Duncan offensively, man.
That's all. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, like everyone got mad at him, but like, and then I read the comments, it's like, Tim Duncan got 5 rings. Like, shut up.
Yeah, all I can do is bring up rings. You know what I'm saying? Like when the thing
we don't have to talk of everything that you said about Anthony Davis was Tim Duncan. Everything that you said about him. Everything. Not some things or most things. Everything you said about Tim Duncan, everything you said about Anthony Davis.
Three-point shot, no.
Dion said AD is better offensively than Tim Duncan.
Yes, and AD is. Like the thing I named, it's kind of hard. They're both are power forwards. What is power centers? So they're going to do the same things, but AD's better. AD's more versatile. You said what?
About doing what?
No, we don't talk about AD's playmaking. Scoring.
Oh, just scoring? I mean,
no, that's not. But no, Mars. Tell him what he said. He said that Anthony Davis is a far superior offensive player.
In terms of getting buckets.
Far superior.
He said far superior.
Absolutely, yes.
And he's not.
But he's not a play creator at all. Like he's one of the best play finishers in the league.
I mean, their assist numbers is not that far off. It's not that far off. It's not that. Like, okay,
is Embiid a better passer than Tim Duncan?
Come on, if Tim Duncan was come out here, bro, giving us like 5-6 assists, bro, every season, then I could be like, okay, that's a huge gap. But if you look at the numbers, bro, it's not that far off. AD is like round two. It was called Tim Duncan around like 3 for assists. Now we get scoring. That's where the huge gap comes into play. Okay. It's a whole 5 points off. You know what I'm saying?
So we judging the playmaking. We judging the playmaking by.
He's not even a better mid-range shooter than Duncan.
I mean, it comes to factor. Yes, yeah, it does.
But he's not a better mid-range shooter than Duncan was. He doesn't shoot threes. He's below 30% of the 3-point.
80 is a better 3-point shooter than Tim Duncan.
He's not a 3-point shooter. He doesn't shoot threes.
You can give the mid-range to Tim Duncan, but 80
no. Literally, defenses sink off of AD to let him shoot the three. Which is why the paint is so corroded in the first.
Also, seasons he's had a decent amount, good decent 3-point shooter. He's a better. That's like comparing the 2 players. I'm not comparing 80 just to 3-point shooters. I'm comparing just the 2 players, Anthony Davis and Tim Duncan. 80's a better 3-point shooter than Tim Duncan, right? So
I'm not one of them shoots threes, though.
80 inside the paint is better than Tim Duncan. So
is Bam a better 3-point shooter than Tim Duncan?
You said what?
Hey, Bam been shooting him recently.
Well, I'm saying, but Bam doesn't shoot threes.
But I mean,
recently.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah. But I'm saying, only Tim Duncan has his mid-range over 80.
Well, but I'm saying, Hakeem didn't shoot a lot of threes. But like, he's still in the argument for a better overall score than Anthony Davis. Like, he didn't shoot threes at all.
Who?
Hakeem's
a better scorer than Anthony Davis. Yeah, Hakeem averages and everything is better than 80.
No, but it's not just averages though. It's just the way you get to your shot. Like, there was nothing Tim Duncan could do.
Hakeem's averages better.
I mean, he was like
around the same area. It's around the same area. I think Hakeem's averages over AD's right now. You know, but
Hakeem peaked at 27.8. AD peaked at
28
twice.
Yeah,
in 16, 17.
One is 17-18 and one is 16-17.
Hakeem and AD scoring is a lot closer than the Tim Duncan and what's called AD.
You know, it's a lot Hakeem plays.
Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, Hakeem's a better scorer than AD. I'll give you that. Now, Tim Duncan, no, he's not. He's not a better scorer than AD at all. And like I said, only thing you guys can say is mid range. You know, like post-up game. Like, okay, if you get the post-up game,
go to multiple finals and was hunting people down off.
That's okay. That's fine. He's on a great team with Greg Popovich.
Get
out of here.
AD plays next to LeBron. What do you mean a great team?
Okay, right there. AD averaged like 20 over 25 with LeBron. With LeBron James. Like Anthony Davis a better scorer than Tim Duncan, bro. I mean, what's the problem with that? Bro, AD multiple years averaging 25 points, bro. Tim Duncan 1 year averaging 25 points. Can you
pull up Tim Duncan's playoff runs for me, please, sir?
Right. So when you throw the ball into Tim Duncan, I'm more than likely going to get a bucket. whether it's over the right shoulder, whether it's over the left shoulder, whether it's open pivot, whether it's on the glass, whether it's a running hook, whether it's a running left hook, whether it's a running right hook. When you get him in transition, you're going to get buckets from him in transition. When you get him in the mid post, you're going to get buckets from him in the mid post. We're just talking about scoring. We're not talking about the overall offensive player, which you want to talk about, because we can talk about that in a minute. We're talking about whether he's on the right block, whether we're talking about he's on the left block. He also can shoot the long ball, which he did shoot the long ball. He didn't shoot it as much as they do today, but he can shoot the long ball. He would hit a long ball shot from time to time, even though Anthony Davis shoots more volume and still shoots a worse percentage. Even with that being said, the way that the offense was ran through Anthony Davis, who was on the block, he had that one season, which is in the 2020 season, which I feel like he was astronomically better at that point than he had ever been. That still wasn't as good, in my estimation, than Tim Duncan was in 2003 with number one. He had Tony Parker, who was, I believe, in year two. He had not just Tony Parker, who was in year two. He had Manu Ginobili, who was a rookie. He had David Robinson, who was washed. He had Steve Kerr, who was also washed. He had, let's see, who else was on that crew? He had Malik Rose, who was a rotation player, and they took down the Los Angeles Speedy Claxton on that team. So the idea of them being great teams, that's not true. That's number one. Rewind the clock back to 1998. He had 7 new guys on that 1998 team. That 1999 team with Avery Johnson, David Robinson, who had a bad back, who wasn't what he used to be, Jerome Kersey, Antonio Daniels, Sean Elliott, who was still really good, but the rest of that crew were a bunch of cast-offs, guys who were a bunch of journeymen, and they won the NBA championship with a second-year guy who, by the way, who they went to on the block, jump hook, not only jump hook, running hooks, everything that you need from an offensive player who can also distribute. So everything that you said about Anthony Davis is Tim Duncan. Everything, except it actually translated to winning on a lesser unit.
No, I wouldn't say lesser unit. 2018 and also, my fault, 2017 and 2016, 2017, 2018, Anthony Davis scoring is better than any season Tim Duncan has ever put up, bro. Anthony Davis shooting over 80% from the free throw line and 50% from the field while giving you 28 points a night. And then you talk about the team. Look, if you compare those teams, honestly, I feel like Tim Duncan has a better team over those teams as well. I mean, AD team wasn't as good as any of those Tim Duncan teams you just named. So AD's a better scorer than Tim Duncan, 1,000%.
So in 2018, I believe it was 2018 when they swept the Trailblazers. You're going to take Avery Johnson. You're going to take a second-year Tony Parker, a rook Manu Ginobili over Rondo, Drew Holiday, and Anthony Davis. That's what you're doing?
Absolutely. Look at the coaching as well. Look at the coaching that the Spurs had. They had Greg Popovich.
Respect Alvin Gentry.
Like, no, yeah, like the Spurs was a better team. Like you just said, they was competing inside the playoffs way better. AD got past one first round, that's it, bro. AD never really competed in the playoffs until he got to the Lakers. That's when he really actually took off and had success when he got with LeBron James. Before that, AD teams was not really competing as much.
From the early 2000s about Tim Duncan, though. Like, I guess
you're not missing anything.
You're not missing anything. Yeah, AD's a better scorer.
You're not missing anything.
Dion cooking right now, man.
Tim Duncan in the 2003 season, I think that was the year he averaged 25 a game when they dropped the defending 3-time NBA champion Lakers, where his closeout game, I think he went 33 and 17 in that game, destroying whoever was in front of him. Robert Horry, Shaq, who was regarded as the best player on the planet at that point, clearly outplayed them in that series. Now, in 2002, there was really nothing that they could do against them. Same thing in 2001, they ran into one of the mile-long freight trains with no brakes. They couldn't do anything with them. But then, moving forward, Anthony Davis, 25 a game in a slower-paced era, not just a slower-paced era, in a big-man era, not just a big-man era, but a big-man era dominated by elite 4 men and 5 men who were elite defenders in Ben Wallace.
Oh, by the way, Chill, he averaged that series that they played versus
you just named it East, though. They're not playing that many
They beat the Lakers. They beat the Lakers in 2003, 4-2. In that series versus Shaquille O'Neal, 40 minutes a game, he averaged 28, 12, and 5, and he shot 53% from the field in that series versus Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal in 2003, the well-known lockdown defender.
Hey, facts.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's cool. That's great. But I mean,
who was Anthony Davis cooking?
When AD gives Draymond Green 30 a game.
When does Anthony Davis? Who's he cooking in the playoff series though? I guess I'm trying to figure out.
He ain't cooked Draymond Green. He ain't cooking.
What year was this?
2015
last
Draymond
year.
Green. And then guess what? And then guess what? He cooked him in 2018 too.
Yeah, he cooked him last year.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so he cooked him in 2015, cooked him in 2018, cooked him in 2023.
Right.
So defensive player of the year.
Cooking Draymond Green. Just
right.
routine.
Didn't do it to Big Honey. I'll tell you that much.
He cooks Rudy Gobert though. He cooks Rudy Gobert. And you guys are super high on Rudy Gobert.
Didn't cook Joker.
Oh yeah, just
that has nothing to do with that.
Oh wait, how many game-winning threes has Tim Duncan hit in his career?
All right, so we got to keep it lit. I got more super chats.
Sorry for asking the question.
And we got
how many game winning threes has Anthony Davis made, Moss?
Tim Duncan did hit a big game winning three though in the playoffs.
One against OKC and one against the Nuggets in the playoffs.
That was a three.
And Tim Duncan hit a game winning three. Tim Duncan hit a game winning three against Phoenix in 2008.
Yeah, it was
one. So 2-1, which means
2-1. Wow,
100% increase.
But 5 OG though, 5 points though. Come on. 5 points, bro. Compare those two over the entire season.
It's not close. Do you think for you are points per game like the for you the barometer?
Absolutely not. No. It's not. It's everything. But if it's a 5-point gap, though, I mean that's pretty measurable. You know what I'm saying?
So the best offensive player ever?
No. The thing about it is like when I look at that Tim Duncan versus AD, bro. Like okay, like if Tim Duncan, I understand he played for a long time, right? Played for like 20 seasons around that area, 19 seasons. The thing about it is Tim Duncan, like if he was averaging like 25, at least 5 seasons, then I could like have an argument. But AD has in that 25 points per game club. That 25 points per game club is very rare to be in. There's like only like 25, 30 players to really average that for multiple times and 4 times for a season. So AD's in a special club when it comes to offense. You know that Tim Duncan's just not in. He's not in that club at all. It's just that simple.
How many players averaged more than 25 from like 19
for like 4 seasons, right? It's not that.
No, I'm talking about when Tim Duncan's offensive peak, so like 90, let's say 99 to like 04. How many people in the league were averaging 25? I could tell you. I could tell you if you don't know. So 1998, the amount of people averaging 25 or more was 3: Michael Jordan, Shaq, and a certain someone in Utah.
Malone.
Then 1999, the lockout season, the amount of people averaging 25: Allen Iverson, Shaq. That's it. So we got 5. We've got 5 people in 2 years. Then the next year, we've got 5 people. Number 32, Vince Carter, Grant Hill, AI, Shaq. So 5 people in 2000. In 2001, we have, how many people is this? 6, I think. We've got AI, Jerry Stackhouse doing it on a bad team, shooting 24 shots a game. Shaq, Kobe, Vince Carter, Chris Webber, T-Mac, Paul Pierce. That's what we got in 2001. In 2002, we have, how many people do we have? We have Kobe, Tim Duncan, T-Mac, Paul Pierce, Shaq, Allen Iverson. That's what we got in 2002.
6 guys.
In 2003, 2003, we have T-Mac, Kobe, AI, Shaq, Paul Pierce, Dirk.
4.
We're not getting many people averaging 25. Like if I went to today's game, people averaging 25.
It's like what, 15?
But okay,
no,
then before you go there, Mark,
we just gonna check. We just want to make sure.
I got to say this though. Before you go there, so the 2 seasons, 80 averaged 28 points. Since you want to say that, for those 2 seasons, how many players in the league averaged over 28? So the first season, 2017, only 3 other players did. In 2018, only 2 players did, and that was James Harden and what's called 80. So that's more rare.
You said over 25, so I went with over 25. But we'll look into 17.
His best season because Tim Duncan had
this year. I'm gonna read off the people averaging 25 this year.
Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
We've got obviously Joel Embiid, but because he hasn't played enough, I guess you could take him off if you want. Luka, Giannis, Shea. They're all averaging over 30, by the way. That's 4 people averaging over 30. Jalen Brunson, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, Jokic, Trae Young, De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Maxey, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Ja Morant didn't play much, so we'll leave him out. And then AD's next at 20, and then AD's next at 24.6.
That's That's 16 guys.
So averaging over 25 is a different bar to what we had in the early 2000s, late 90s.
That's this season though. So if you go back to
an AD's averaging around 25.
AD was giving you 28. It was only three guys the first season. There was only one other guy the season after that. So I mean, he was inside of a rare club.
In 2018, when AD averaged 28, you've got James Harden led the league in scoring at 30. Then AD was next at 28.
28, yeah, and that was it. That's it.
Then it was LeBron 27, then Giannis, Dame, KD, Steph, Russ, DeMarcus Cousins. And then that's the people averaging 25. And then in 2017,
DeMarcus Cousins a better scorer than Tim Duncan?
I mean, how many seasons has he done it? I mean, what is?
And then 2017,
he was 12 and 5 multiple times.
In 2017, you have Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Isaiah Thomas, Anthony Davis, DeMar DeRozan, DeMarcus Cousins, Damian Lillard, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry, Kyrie, Karl Anthony Towns, and Kevin Durant, all averaging over 25. Just more people were scoring more points. Like
a lot of those guys you named, though, you can say is a better offensive player than Tim Duncan. A lot of the guys you just named on those lists, you're naming high class offensive players that we all know not.
The point I'm making is comparing raw points per game from an era which was the lowest scoring era of all time to the late 2010s and early 2020s is disingenuous, because we understand the game was played slower, first of all, so there was less possessions and there was just overall lower scoring games. So averaging 24 in 2003 is different to averaging 24 in 2024 or in 2018. So just saying, oh, Tim Duncan averaged this, so he's not as good as this guy who averaged this 20 years later would be disingenuous. It's like saying we'll average 50, so it's just way better than Kobe averaging 35.
Right.
Ignoring the context of how the points per game come.
But it'd be disingenuous if it was only one season compared to one season type deal. AD has done this for over 4 seasons. This is gonna be his 5th season in counting coming up after this season that he's averaged at least 25. You know, he's at 24.6. You can mark that up to 25. So I mean, like AD's doing that. I mean, Tim Duncan only doing that one time in his career. It's a bar standard. You know what I'm saying? Like we just like how we know LeBron's a better scorer than Tim Duncan. You can go to his 2010s era as well. He's still a better scorer than Tim Duncan. Like these guys that has averaged 25 points, 24 points for their career is always going to be over Tim Duncan. Like the
point that Mars is making is that Tim Duncan, like you just mentioned about those 4 or 5 years, Tim Duncan had a 5-year stretch where he was averaging 23 a game, which is right under 25. That 23 a game in 2001 to 2006 is the equivalent to like 27 or 28 today. That's the difference.
Yo, Mars, can you let us know what Tim Duncan would average relative to era today?
I mean, if you wanted to do Aerotax formula, Tim Duncan on like a per 75 basis at his best is probably about 27, 28 a game. That's probably what he is. And that's just his points adjusted for the amount of possessions and the league-wide average of today's game. That's not with the assumption of more space he would actually be more efficient and therefore score more. That's not taken into that account. It's just his points, his production adjusted to modern day possessions. It's about 27, 28 at his best. And then in the playoffs, he has runs where it would be around 30 a game if you adjusted it, and on like elite efficiency too. So once again, that doesn't include the context of spacing and
that's fine. You can try to say that you can adjust his thing all you want to, but at the end of the day, bro, Anthony Davis is a better offensive player than Tim Duncan, and it still stands. I mean, the facts are the facts when it comes to this. And you know, Tim Duncan never peaked as
facts are the facts.
The point of the game is that, I mean, it's factual that AD averaged more points. It's just disingenuous to ignore.
That's the only fact that you have here. The fact that he averaged more points.
Average more points. He's a more versatile scorer than him, and he's better inside the paint. And he's more efficient inside the paint. He's better in the paint. No, he was not. AD's better in the paint than Tim Duncan. Yes, he is.
AD is better at the rim than Tim Duncan.
Yes.
We've lost our minds. Okay.
Shout out to y'all. All this is a distraction for the fact that Nikola Jokic is now minus 2,000 to win MVP. Joe, just so you know, minus 2,000.
He's gonna win that. That's fine.
It's crazy that LeBron can play with someone who's better offensively than Tim Duncan and only win one race.
Tim Duncan's not known for his offense. He's known for his defense.
And being the player on back-to-back seasons.
He got someone better offensively than Tim Duncan, and he's the
dude just said Tim Duncan is not known for his offense. He scored over 25,000 points. What's happening right now? What's going on?
Tim
What am I
Duncan is
doing?
known for his defense, though.
What's happening right now? Am I in the Matrix?
We don't know.
Am I in the Matrix?
We don't know that.
What's going on?
We don't look at Tim Duncan and say, "Oh, we know him for his offense." Like,
what do you mean we don't? I do because I was there. I do. He was a bucket getter.
Tim Duncan is known for his defense, bro.
Why do you think they call him the big fundamental? They don't call him the big fundamental because he cleaned glass. They call him the big fundamental because you get him on the block and he'll skill you to death with its fundamentals. Yes. What are you talking about?
But he's
and the reason why they say that, the reason he's not just known for his defense.
I'm saying that when you think of Tim Duncan, he's an all-time great defender. Chill, come on, let's be real.
Is that not the argument you was just
25,000 points though?
You said what?
25,000 points. You're not known for your scoring.
No. Like I can't score. No.
But was you not arguing 20 minutes ago that AD is the best defender in the league?
Yes.
I mean,
Dion. So let's just clarify. LeBron James has the best defender in the league, who's also a better offensive player than Tim Duncan.
And he's also in year 21. And they're the ninth seed.
He's also
they're the ninth seed.
So
interesting.
Wait.
Okay. Meanwhile,
hold on. I'm trying to figure out if you're that good, Chill. If you're that good, surely you should be at the top of some conference somewhere on earth.
They're like 3 games from the 6th seed. Stop it, bro. Stop it.
I said top. I said top of the conference. I said top of the conference.
Bro.
No, wait. Hold on. Wait a minute.
We're gonna see the
Wait, Dion. Answer this question. No, I want to hear this because if you think, because you my dog, I actually like this conversation a lot. You know, you got good energy, unlike that dude up there that he calls a scumbag. Chill calls a scumbag. I've never called him a scumbag. He's a good brother. So listen. So let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
So if he's a better offensive player than prime Tim Duncan, and he's also the best defensive player in the league, genuine question. What is the actual difference between why he is not the best player in the world as opposed to
why we not talking about him like Luka?
Or do you think he's actually better than Jokic? He's just not consistent enough. Please. Let's let him finish.
On the Lakers.
No, just finish. Just let him finish. Go ahead.
Jokic, when it comes to Jokic, the reason why he separates AD is because of leadership and then his passing and playmaking ability. But when you think about a two-way player, yes, AD is over Jokic. But Jokic's leadership and playmaking and consistency, that's what put him over Anthony Davis.
Is he a better scorer than Jokic?
Well, AD, I mean, they're very similar now. Like last year, I'll probably give a nod to AD, but right now it's similar because the only reason I get an edge to Jokic is because of the 3-point shooting, how efficient he is from the 3-point line. He can shoot the three. He could, he's more versatile scorer than AD right now. So I'll give that to Jokic. Jokic is on a different planet right now. So I really don't want to really compare those two. I still have Jokic a better player than Anthony Davis.
Why isn't AD the best player on the Lakers?
AD's not the best player on the Lakers because LeBron James is still playing. It's that simple.
So to clarify, the Lakers have a player who is better than Tim Duncan on offense, is the best defender in the league, he's the second best player on the team.
Yeah.
And they've only won 1 championship and are currently the 9th seed in the conference.
That's due to injuries. They got injured. Majority of the season, they was injured. You can't say that. It was injured. They went to 2 Western Conference Finals.
This year they've been healthy.
Out of the 4 best teams
Mars,
in the league over the last 4 years.
You can't win with just 2 players. Come on.
It's all pretty tight.
You've had the best defender in the league for 4 years. A better
one of them, top 3. I mean, when he's healthy,
while he's been the second best player on his team the whole time because there's someone else on his team who's better than him.
Yes,
but I'm saying, but hold on, but wait, Mars, I have a question. So why is because this is getting to basketball stuff. Why is it that when AD and LeBron are on the court, then if they're this good, and again, I think both of them have been top 10-ish players this year, but I think that's also individual players. Why is it that they are like a +2 or a +1 on the court this year when they have both played together? Because they don't seem to be impacting the game as a player who is best player in the world, talks in AD, better than Tim Duncan offensively, and then the best defender in the league, and then also subsequently having LeBron James on the court. Why is it that they're not actually having the effect? So regardless of the roster, why are they not affecting winning more?
I mean, we first of all, we won the play-in tournament, right? Start off by that. We're the clutchest team inside. We're the clutchest team inside the league right now.
Huh?
Based on what?
The Lakers are the clutchest team inside the league. Based on what? What do you mean? Clutch game against good teams and against clutch teams. The Lakers are the best performance team inside the league.
Denver smoked you in the clutch every time you play?
The Denver Nuggets, Denver Nuggets inside. They didn't. I mean, if you want to give Denver Nuggets the edge, like of just a better team right now, that's fine. But I think
in the clutch,
in the clutch, the Lakers has had one of the most games in the clutch than any other team inside the league right now this season. The Lakers are the clutchest team inside the league, and we have the clutchest player in LeBron James inside the league.
What?
Right. The only reason you're yeah. What do you mean? What he leads?
He's not.
LeBron's not the clutch player inside the league right now.
No, so right now the team. I want to fix it for you. I know what you're saying. So the team that leads the NBA in clutch wins is the Nuggets. The best win percentage was the Mavericks, but then they lost yesterday. But on the season, the Lakers are 22-9. So like they're also very good in the clutch, and 2 of those losses come to Denver. So they're actually 22-7 in non-Denver clutch losses. So they're really good. But the Mavericks,
the Lakers are 9th in net rating in the clutch. They're 9th.
Right, but their win percentage, I think, is what people
very high. That's
that's not bad. Yeah, their net rating in the clutch is 11.5, and then you just see the Denver Nuggets 26.4.
Dion's kind of moving me with this argument. I can't lie to you.
Appreciate it.
The best clutch team in the league, a better offensive player than Tim Duncan.
I can't jump in the debate now.
If y'all listen to the young man, you know what I'm saying. Y'all just upset and y'all want to stand so far.
No.
Y'all don't want to let the man. Y'all don't want to let the man get.
I just want to ask him if he has the Lakers in the championship this year.
It's not that.
They are.
Hold on, right quick. Dion.
You don't gotta agree. But it's not crazy though. Like,
I'm not mad
at it. I'm not mad at it.
Dion, how far do you have the Lakers going this year in the playoffs? Talk to us.
The championship.
He lying, Dion. You don't believe that.
Not lying at all.
We have
a healthy
LeBron
James, the clutch player inside the league, bro. He just dropping.
How is LeBron more clutch than Luka, Shea, and Jokic right now? I'm trying to figure that out.
Go look at LeBron James' fourth quarter scoring, bro.
I've seen it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. So let me talk.
They don't get in the fourth quarters to have to get clutch.
Yeah, it does. It's tied with Giannis for 7.9 scoring inside the clutch. Then, let's look at 7.9 points per game, and then on top of that, he give you 2 assists inside of the fourth quarter as well. Right. So that's over 9 points. That's over like 9.5 points when you combine the points and the assists together. Right. LeBron James. Then on top of that, he's shooting 35% from the 3-point line inside the fourth quarters, and he's one of the clutchest players, and he had one of the highest field goals inside the fourth quarters out of anybody that's taking that amount of shots. So yes, LeBron James is the clutchest player right now.
Hold on, Mars.
29% from 3 in the clutch. What's he talking about?
Wait, but I'm saying Dion.
He shoots 35% from 3 in the fourth quarter.
Dion, this is
the fourth quarter. You said the clutch.
I said the fourth quarter. He shoots 35% from the.
Okay, so that's not the clutch.
In the clutch, bro. I mean, it probably drops a little bit, but like I said, like LeBron James is still one of the most efficient scorers in the fourth quarter right now.
You have gotten smoked out of your house in 8 straight games versus Denver, for instance.
That's Denver.
No, but you just said you're making it to the championship, so you're going to have to get by them.
We got something in the playoffs, bro. It's fine. They beat us in the regular season. They beat us
What's the something?
Playoffs.
Hope,
LeBron
dreams?
James, Anthony Davis guarded him. That's what it is right there. AD's going to lock up Jokic, and LeBron James is going to be LeBron James this playoffs. I promise you.
Okay, so Dion, yes. All of this being said, who did you have winning the championship last year?
The Lakers.
Okay. Who did you have winning the championship?
I knew Denver's going. Who did you
have winning the championship in 2020?
You said in 2020? Before the Lakers got injured, you know what I'm saying? It was the Lakers.
No, in 2020 was the bubble year.
My fault. No, the Lakers. They're the Lakers. They were the best in the league.
And in 2021, I'm assuming you didn't have the Lakers.
They got injured, yes.
And then 2022 is the same thing?
Yes, but they got injured.
So every year the Lakers have been healthy with like LeBron and AD. You've had them winning the championship, right?
Yes, and I stand corrected.
No one can beat the Lakers. They've achieved it once. They failed another time, and this year we're yet to see. So if they fail twice, are you gonna just excuse LeBron? Even though he failed your expectations, or like what are we gonna do?
LeBron James in year 21. He's better than.
So then why do you expect them to win if LeBron is in year 21?
Because LeBron's LeBron. Just like how we never.
Okay, so if LeBron is LeBron, if he doesn't win, can you give him the?
No, because there's nobody in year 21 that's ever been held to that standard.
And this is my issue. You set the standard for LeBron up here. If he doesn't achieve it, you then give him excuses for why he didn't achieve it, and then you go into the next year setting the standard up here again, and then he fails again.
That makes sense. It's add icing onto the cake. He can't.
That makes sense.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't.
This is year 21.
How does that make sense?
He can only add ice to the cake.
I'm not saying it affects his legacy. What I'm saying is you can't set the standard up here and say this is what I think he's gonna do, and then when he doesn't do it, say, well, he's in year 21.
Well, he's old.
Why
Those things don't work. How does that make
you're
sense?
the one who's setting that standard? You can't set his standard up here.
That's it.
And then when he's down here, you say, well, he's in year 21. What do you expect? You can't.
Wait, Mars. But Mars, wait a second, Mars. Chill, Mars. Y'all, wait a second, though. Think about it, though. If you know that this guy is old, right? Mm-hmm. And anything can happen health wise, motor wise, what he got in the tank wise, you know what I'm saying? You know that he's still a top 10 player in the NBA though, skill set wise. You gotta be able to look at it that way. Like, yeah, he can get it done, but if he doesn't get it done, I know why, because he's 50. You know what I'm saying? So I feel what Dion's saying. Like, it makes
you can't say I expect him to get it done. You can't say I expect him to get it done. Then when he doesn't get it done, say, he's old.
I understand.
It is what it is.
You
can't go into every year saying I expect this to happen, and then when it doesn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, but wait, because he said since 2020, right? He had him in 2020. He had him,
and they won.
He had him twice. He had him twice. And last year they went far. Last year they got to the Western Conference
and they didn't win.
That's not bad numbers. Like, his expectations are on par. Those aren't bad numbers.
I'm not saying they're not on par. I'm saying you can't say, I got them winning the championship.
You definitely can't.
Then they don't win and then be like,
you can't.
Why do you expect that?
LeBron's past year 20, bro.
You can with a 40-year-old.
Stop expecting it. Like, I'm sorry. You can't say I expect them to win. Then when they don't win, he's old. Why do you expect?
Hey, Mars, listen, I can expect something and not be disappointed at the same time. You feel me? Like, I can expect something if it doesn't happen.
Disappointed, but you can't.
Between expectation and disappointment, there's two different ways.
And then when it doesn't happen, be like, why did you expect it? He's old. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Because LeBron is playing at an unprecedented level than any of the year 21 players. So yes, I believe that he's still attending. I still believe LeBron's the best player on the planet. Absolutely.
Wait. When
you're 40 years old, you have
LeBron's best player on the planet.
When he wins, it's hold on,
Dion. We've been having an
hold up, everybody. Hold on. We only got one mic.
I'm talking to my brother Dion. That's my dog. We know each other really well. We go back and forth. So Dion.
Go ahead, bro.
Talk to your bro.
Yes,
how in the world do you, at age 39, have LeBron James as the best player in the world when you know without a shadow of a doubt that he's not been better than Jokic, Luka, or Giannis for that standard this entire season? Now, he's been great. He's been really good. But you don't believe, I know you don't, because you're a smart dude. You don't believe if he get into a playoff setting, he going bar for bar with Luka or with Jokic in a playoff this year. And I know you don't think about it with Jokic. I'm putting Luka in the conversation because he deserved to be in the combo. But you're telling me right now you think LeBron's going to go bar for bar with them in a playoff setting when he didn't do it last year?
He actually did. He beat the defending champs. That's not okay. We can go to the
Warriors.
Let me talk. Relax. Let me talk real quick. You can look at that and yes, the Warriors. Go to the Warriors. They won 2022. LeBron James winning. Basically, he ended the Golden State Warriors. So he can definitely play up to any superstar inside the league today, right now, as we speak. This is his own thing in regular season. So, like, they're going to be, like, let LeBron James be, pick his spots, all that good stuff. When it comes to the playoff time, LeBron James can compete with any other great player inside the league right now. I'm taking LeBron over anybody. Jokic, Giannis, Luka, anybody else inside the league. I'm taking LeBron James inside the playoff this season. So
then stop telling.
Then I don't want to hear he's 39.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Then stop saying that.
I can say both.
Dion, they don't gotta want to hear the world. Damn,
you can't say LeBron is the best in the world, and then when they lose, he's 39.
Worse than him.
You can definitely say that. Yes,
Luka don't want to with LeBron in the playoffs.
No, do not, bro. Absolutely not. They don't want.
Know that.
Nobody want to see LeBron in the playoffs. Let's be real.
Like this right now. We're talking about
like that doesn't make sense. You can't say he's the best in the world, and then when they don't win, say, he's 39. That's just double.
No, Mars, you can. He can.
You can't be logically.
Even if he does say that, you are worse. You're actually worse than him because you don't even fucking believe that. You don't. You don't even fucking believe that.
Why am I saying?
You gassing that. That's what you're doing right now. You're sitting here gassing this nonsense. Because 1 minute you tell me we don't do this with anybody else. We don't do this with. We don't believe because y'all don't agree with him. That's just not. You think that people? You are the epitome. You are the epitome, Ox, of exactly what we're doing wrong here. What you do is you tell people to come up here and say whatever they want. And then when they say whatever they want, if it's ridiculous, we shouldn't have anything. We shouldn't have any opinion about it.
I'm not saying it's ridiculous.
So a guy who is 39 years old, who you think is the best player on the planet, you think he's the best player on the planet. If he's the best player on the planet, the 39 years old thing has to go out the window if they lose. That has to go out the window. And you can't tell me that, oh, he's 39. Don't just say, Ox, well, he can say it. No, he can't say that. He can't say that without it being something else.
It's not always an excuse. It's more so just a reason. He's saying that LeBron James has the ability to do this. And once he doesn't do it based on age, now if he's just missing shots, if he's playing bad, that's one thing. But if it's clearly he's tired, he's injured because of age, he can come up here and say, yeah, he was on the verge of getting it done, but his 39-year-old body broke down. There's nothing wrong with that. Y'all just don't want to hear it because he's saying it, and y'all was so upset about the Tim Duncan, Anthony Davis situation. Y'all not even listening to my man talk. Anytime you open his mouth, Swiper cutting him off, Mars talking about something else. Chill, you yelling at
my friend. How about cutting my friend off?
Y'all yelling at the young man. Let him get his shit off. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I'm speaking straight facts.
What I'm saying is, it's not like what he's saying is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's talking hoop with y'all, and y'all don't want to hear it. I don't know what's going on. Y'all trying to make TikTok clips and shit. Let my man.
No, we're not trying. First of all, we're not trying to do that.
Ox, you better watch your mouth. You better watch your mouth, elk. I ain't scared of you, deer. I ain't trying to make no TikTok. I want to make a TikTok. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm addressing basketball. LeBron ain't better than Jokic. He ain't better than Luka. He ain't better than Giannis. He ain't better than Embiid. He ain't better than Embiid. He ain't better than Embiid either. So I'm trying to hear all this from you, Ox, talking about, oh, you just mad because Dion said it. No, Ox, you ain't got nothing for real to say. You trying to make a TikTok right now and get popular. I'm about to make you popular right now. You want to get on a meme right now? I'm gonna make you popular right now. Go ahead and keep talking. Go ahead and keep talking, Ox.
Swiper, please make me a meme. I'm begging you. What I'm saying is this, Swiper. You know without a doubt that none of these dudes won with LeBron in the playoffs, bro. That's all I'm saying.
What does that mean, though, Ox? I don't think
that's what y'all was just talking about, Swiper.
I can tell you.
Swiper, wait. Y'all was just saying this player, that player, this player. When it comes to the clutch, when it comes to the playoffs, don't none of them dudes won it with Bron. Win or lose, nobody.
Jokic doesn't care about LeBron. I guarantee you, he doesn't even see Bron. I guarantee it.
You're cat. They're 1-1 in last series.
1-1.
2020 we beat
5 years ago.
Yes,
5 years ago.
1-1.
Bro, wait, you know what I was doing 5 years ago? Let me tell you this. In 2020, when that thing happened, when the last time LeBron won, you know what I was doing? Swiper didn't exist. It didn't exist. The platform wasn't even here. That was so long ago. Ox wasn't even gray back when LeBron beat Jokic in the playoff series. So we don't even care about that. Everybody bringing that up from all that time ago. We don't care.
1-1 in the last playoff series. That's all.
1-1.
1-1. We beat the same Miami team as well in the finals.
He's spitting, Swiper.
Miami they weren't healthy. Bam was not healthy. They were not healthy in that series. And they absolutely cooked them in 6 games.
Okay, and the Lakers weren't healthy.
Great.
The Lakers weren't healthy last year. And the Lakers weren't healthy.
How are they not healthy?
Miami wasn't healthy.
How were they not healthy? Oh my gosh. You know what? I have heard so much about no. I have heard so much about his foot. You thought I was reading the Old Testament when they referred to Moses' feet. I hear so much about feet now. I'm like, what is going on? Like, does he need a massage therapist? What's wrong with LeBron's foot? Because he sure looked 5 versus the Warriors. He sure looked 5 versus the Memphis Grizzlies.
No, he did not. His three-point shot was off the entire series. LeBron did not look fine. Stop it.
Just a question.
Go ahead.
Why was his foot hurt?
Because Anthony Davis was getting injured. LeBron had to carry the load in the regular season. Well, a lot of those games, he re-injured his foot. Yes, because he was exerting himself more than he had to. But this season, LeBron James has been in chill mode for the most part of the season. He's going to be healthy and ready for the playoffs this season. They do not want to see a healthy LeBron James. And don't act like during those different series that the games wasn't close going down to the stretch.
What does that mean? But what does that mean? I'm tired of hearing that. What does that mean?
Because the different Nuggets are not just going to walk on the
Hey, guess what? Guess what? They're not going to what?
They're not going to walk on the Lakers this season. They're not.
They've been walking on them for 2 years.
It's the regular season.
Do you know LeBron James hasn't beaten the Denver Nuggets with Jokic on the court since December 2022? We about to be on 2 birthdays. He's about to have 2 birthday candles he's blown out since the last time he'd beaten them. And guess what? He's been regressing. One of them's getting better. The other dude on the other court is getting even better from that point on. So no, they are walking them down every time they have an opportunity.
LeBron looks better in year 21 than he did in year 20. So he's not regressing. LeBron is actually he's going up. He's going up. This year, LeBron James is literally a top 5 player in the league right now.
How old are you, Dion? How old are you doing?
23.
Oh, all right. So LeBron been playing your whole life. All right, cool. No worries. I get it. I get it. I get it. Cool.
So as a top 5 player in the league,
yes,
he should take his team. If he takes his team deep into the playoffs and they win, let's just say for the sake of argument, they win the NBA championship.
Yes. This
is James, right? This is James. This is a testament to James' greatness. But if they get bounced in the first round and he doesn't play well, is it because he's old?
Just depends. Does he re-injure his foot? Is he going through injury? You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what's going on. Like, we got to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Everything has, detail behind the actual, game itself. So we got to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go for what if. I just know LeBron James, lost like one or a couple times
why
in the first round.
Injured,
Lost once.
The reason his foot was injured is because he's old. That's why. That's what happened. It's not because he got hurt or rolled an ankle, because I've seen James come back from rolled ankles where guys would be out for 2 months. He can't bounce back from those injuries like he did years ago because he's old. But I can't, according to your logic, I can't use that because he's still a top 5 player in the world. So if he ends up getting hurt, he got hurt. And that's what happened. Not because he's old, but because he got hurt. I can't talk out of both sides of my mouth. Either he's a top 5 player in the world and he just didn't get it done, or he's old.
No, I think the fact is, we've never seen this. So I think it's hard for you guys to have this conversation. We've never seen a guy be in year 21 be a top 5 player in the world. That's why this conversation is hard to have.
Top 5? I mean, so why do you keep saying top 5?
Because he thinks he's top 5. Because he thinks he's top 5. And he thinks he's the best when it matters most.
But I guess what I'm saying is though, bro, I get what you're saying. But when we get to the playoff this year, and if they see. If they see the Thunder, they get by them, right? If they see the Wolves. What I don't want to hear from you, though, on the other end of this, because you have to be able to stand on business when it comes to this. Absolutely. He can't lose again to Denver or to Minnesota because their defense is going to be incredulous. But he cannot lose to one of those 2 teams, and your comeback is going to be the team wasn't good enough, LeBron wasn't healthy, or AD wasn't consistent. Because if you have the best player in the world with a healthy roster, which is what they have, they are healthier now than they have been all year. If they get smoked out again, if they get smoked out again by the Nuggets, you can't come back to this panel and say that he didn't have everything set up for him perfectly. That's not how it works. Jamal Murray's been out for 23 games this year.
The Denver Nuggets
expect them to get it done.
The Denver Nuggets still overall, you know what I'm saying, like still has a better team. I just think we have the 2 better players.
They don't have the duo though. But I'm saying you have 2 top 10 players. So how do they have a better team?
But Jamal Murray in the playoffs is you can argue that he's a top 10 player in the playoffs. When you look at Jamal
and LeBron James
he performed that top 10.
So I mean,
I want to get. I think where we got thrown off the track, we turned this into LeBron James, which I didn't want to do. I want to talk about the fact that Anthony, like you just said, Anthony Davis playing with LeBron James, who, as of today, considering is the best player, as good as he is. Meanwhile, the team that he's playing on is in 9th place. So you think he's the best defensive player in the game. You think he's a better offensive player than Tim Duncan. Yes. You think he's a better offensive player. You think he's the best defensive player in the world, and he's playing with LeBron James. Why they're not better? Meanwhile, Tim Duncan in 2003 is playing against the 3-time defending NBA champions with a second-year Tony Parker, with a rookie Manu Ginobili, with Malik Rose, with a journeyman in Bruce Bowen, with a washed-up David Robinson, and a washed-up Steve Kerr, and they win the NBA championship with that crew. But he's not better than Anthony Davis, who today you think is the best defensive player in the game, who's a better offensive player than him, and his team is in 9th place, and he's playing with a top 5 player in the NBA. I still have not gotten a satisfaction.
Yeah, that doesn't work. I'm saying
if you look at their record, if this was last year, we'd be literally at 60 right now. Like, it's just that the fact of the West is winning. There's multiple teams winning over 50 games. This is one of the most loaded West we've ever seen in NBA history. More loaded than the West you're talking about with Tim Duncan won. This West is way by far better. So it's not about that. It's about that. It's about the fact that you have your hills, you have your hiccups inside the regular season. You're gonna miss a couple of games. Sometimes the ball's not gonna bounce your way. But inside of the playoffs this season, I'm not taking nobody over LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They're going to get inside the playoffs as well. So we just want to see what happens.
If they lose again, what are you going to say?
Nothing. I have nothing.
Oh,
does that deteriorate LeBron James' career? Absolutely not.
No, I didn't career.
I'm not asking you to tear down his career. I'm not asking you to even move him down in the GOAT conversation. I'm not even asking you to have a GOAT conversation.
So it doesn't matter then, right?
My whole issue this whole time has been, you say the Lakers are going to win because they have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You've been saying that every year they've been healthy.
Every year.
Then if they don't do it, you say, oh, well, LeBron James is 39, or oh, well, AD is not consistent, whatever the case may be. Whatever.
I haven't brought up Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I'm just saying whatever, just in case that's like what you might say, I don't know. But you say LeBron James is year 21, 39. We've never seen someone this good at this age.
They're just injured.
I agree with that. I agree with
We've
never seen someone in year 21 this good. We've never seen someone at 39 this good. I agree. But you can't say, I think they're going to win, or I think LeBron is this good, and they're going to win because LeBron is this good. Then when they don't win, say, oh, well, he's in year 21, and he's 39. Because you knew he was in year 21 and you knew he was 39 years old when you said they were going to win. You knew those two things were true. It wasn't just a surprise. Oh, wow, LeBron's 39. No, it wasn't a surprise. You knew he was 39 when you made the pick for them to win. So you can't say, oh, well, he's 39 when they don't win, but you knew he was 39 when you picked them to win. That's where I'm like, you're talking out both sides of your mouth. That's why I'm like, you're having your cake and you're eating it too.
Mars, Dion, Swiper,
and I don't like that. And I don't like that. That's my problem with this.
Dion, Mars,
it's not even that I don't think the Lakers can win, because I didn't even give a take on whether or not they can win. It's just my issue. My issue is that. That's my issue.
Dion and Mars, we are talking in circles, okay?
Got it.
We get the Dion standing on what he's saying. Mars, you don't like it. Chill. It's a few things you don't like. Swiper, you just trying to argue. And Ox, let the cat. Hey,
you better categorize me correctly. You better categorize me correctly. I don't like double standards.
Ox, and let the chat tell it you just caping. So we got to move on right now.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't made points. Chill. I ain't made no points.
You did not. You did not make
You just don't like that he's saying that they beating the Nuggets.
And I didn't even. We didn't even start with that. We didn't even start with that. We started with the defense and I was defending Tim Duncan. Right? I'm so sick of you. Matter of fact, put the camera on yourself. I'm tired of you because you never want to stand on business. I'm so sick of you because the thing is, you stood on that Milwaukee Bucks nonsense. Had no real reason why you believe what you believe about the Bucks, but you just wanted to say it and you wanted to argue. You wanted to be a part of it. You wanted to
everything that Dion said about Bron, that's what I believe about Giannis. So just take his whole argument.
All right, exactly. So both of y'all,
insert Giannis instead of Bron, and insert Bucks instead of Lakers.
What was Eddie Murphy's best comedy special called? What was it called?
Raw. Eddie Murphy.
And Delirious. Let's go. Move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
All right. So apparently we're all being thrown under the bus right now because Culture Saunders said, Ron, do your job. This clip farming shit is dead. Talk about today's title or anything else at this point. I thought that was a good debate.
Yeah, clip farming. What are we talking about? That's really how you see what I have in my background. That's truly how I feel, but it's not clickbait. The Lakers will go on to win the championship this season.
And also, if they don't, LeBron's 39. So
yeah.
MP13 said he said, quote unquote, he can believe that isn't an argument for accepting a comment that lacks logical consistency. This was the same logic with Jokic isn't up to Divock take. Being someone's opinion doesn't give them a pass to be illogical.
I don't think Ox understands that. He thinks that just because you say it and you have some credibility, that means that it should be respected. No,
said you ain't got a level of understanding, Ox. That's what he said.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody asked you, Swiper.
Swiper, are you saying he got a mule brain?
No, I heard Dr. Umar now. I said there's a level of understanding that he doesn't have.
Dr. Umar, man, he a sucker. Anyways,
he is. To be honest with you, Ox. Yes, he is.
I'll tell you that story. We just don't got
Umar catches strays today.
He said, "I'm a milkman. I'm standing on it." Go ahead, Ox.
And he don't support black businesses. But anyways, what you said, Showtime? Oh, that's right. I'm not saying you necessarily gotta respect it or that you gotta agree with it. I'm just saying, like, at least hear my man argument. That's all I was saying.
All right, y'all. I want to shout out all the members today, all the new members. First off, slap that like button. Also, scan that QR code down there and go visit playerschoicemerch.com. I got a few new members in here today, so let me go ahead and give them a shout out. Jace Spades became a member. Courtney Edwards. Who else we got? Light Tyrell. Mr. Ross became a member. Daniel Day also became a member. And last but not least, we got Nana Aggie Man became a member as well. Shout out to everybody that just joined the party. Just read up on their memberships, all that good stuff. Slap that subscribe button too while you at it. We got a few more super chats, and then we got to talk about Joel Embiid because they got a win last night. He made his return.
12 from the free throw line in the first game back, bro. Big time.
Yeah, he didn't look too bad. But before we do that, though, my man Drip Bailey said, I swear, if Denver and the Lakers switch coaches, they would literally flip-flop in the standings. Denver has so many counters in the clutch, but I think Malone could replicate Bron/AD doing what Jokic does.
So if they had a better coach, they'd be a better team. That's the problem. That's why the Lakers are in ninth place because they.
I mean, Darvin Ham's a huge problem. Yeah, absolutely. He's been a huge problem since last year. If you're being honest, yes. But I mean, I'm not going to blame that all on Darvin Ham. It's just that, like I said, bro, when you play the Lakers, team plays up. They play up when they play the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like we get the best shot out of every team every single night. So teams that usually don't play.
So the NBA champions don't get people's best matchups every night.
No, they don't.
Yes, Ron, go ahead, Ron. Super chats, Ron. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
I'll tell you the reason why.
Why don't I'm going to entertain this, Ron. Why don't the defending NBA champions get everybody's best shot every night?
So I'll look at the Denver Nuggets as how I look at how the Miami Heat, 2012, 2013 was dominating. So what I mean by they don't get the best shot is when, and just like the Warriors, when teams like match up against the Denver Nuggets, sometimes a lot of teams be like, oh my God, we got to play Denver Nuggets. So, you know what I'm saying? They go out there and lay down, you know what I'm saying? Type deal. The Lakers, for the Lakers, a lot of times for right now.
Chill out, Mike.
Oh, yeah, a lot of times for the Lakers right now, you know what I'm saying? A lot of teams, they smell the blood for the Lakers. They think they're wounded, you know what I'm saying? They think that LeBron's old. So they come out there, they give their best shot a lot of these nights. You see a lot of teams outperform themselves when they play against Lakers. And it's just the Lakers stadium for some odd reason. When you play against the Lakers, you just shoot better. I don't know what it is. It just is what it is.
So
because you give up the most open threes in the NBA.
So
the Lakers
but I want to get back to what you just said about giving their best shot. So wouldn't that say a lot about the defending NBA champions when teams lay down because they think their best shot isn't even good enough?
Yeah, I mean, it does. It says a lot about them. They're a great team.
So
yes.
What is that? What there's a reason why we're on TV more. There's a reason why teams play harder against us. There's a reason why teams lay down against us because we are the champs. We have the belt. Last year, that wouldn't have happened because the belt wasn't here.
Yeah.
There are teams, like you just said, who lay down because they look at the Denver Nuggets and say, my best shot, the best shot that I can give them, which I also think it's crazy that a team would actually lay down. But let's just say for the sake of argument that they do. My best shot isn't good enough against them because I don't think that we could beat them. So let's just go ahead and take our lumps and get out of here. Yeah, they're not doing that with any other team, which suggests how superior the Denver Nuggets are. Does that not make sense?
Well, if you want to argue superiority of it, that's fine. But I'm saying the whole reason why the Lakers is at the bottom of the standings, that was the whole argument in the first place, was why the Lakers are so low at the standings. Because Lakers, they you know what I'm saying, they play up against the Lakers compared to like
you're
Denver
meant to win in the playoffs when teams are gonna play hard.
Yes, obviously, yes, the playoffs. It's a 7-game
but
series.
You're the 9th seed in the regular season when teams play hard.
But over 500 teams, but we're up there. We have one of the best records. We have beaten one of the best teams inside the league this year. We got a positive record against over 500 teams. So I mean, we're a good team against great teams. So
except the Denver Nuggets.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand that though. Like you think because of the Lakers' aura, that's why they get teams to play harder versus them than like the defending champions.
Bro, it's LeBron aura, it's the Lakers aura. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to play for you're going to get, if you play at the Staples Center or Crypto.com Center as they call it now, like you play up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that you're in La La Land, you're in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of players play better against the Lakers. It's just the facts of it. I don't know why. You got to ask NBA players, but they do.
Because they think they got a better shot against them than they do the Denver Nuggets.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So they play up. So a lot of teams have more confidence going to that game.
So if that logic works that way, are people playing like even harder versus the Washington Wizards because they know they can get a win?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Then why is Milwaukee? Why is Milwaukee losing? Then why
Milwaukee's a mess right now? I already told y'all. Milwaukee's going through something right now with the coach.
Did he just say teams try harder against the Wizards than the Nuggets? And this is the man Ox wanted us to listen to.
No, I'm not saying teams try harder. I didn't say that. That's not what I said, Mars.
Someone just asked you and you said yes. That's literally what just happened.
He said do teams try hard against the Washington Wizards because
harder. That's what he said. Harder. And you said yes.
He said he wasn't comparing the two. He was just saying that do teams play harder against the Washington Wizards. That was all he was saying.
Harder against the Washington Wizards. And you said
check it out. But check it.
Not doing it for the Denver. Go ahead, my fault.
You got to think about it this way though, Mars. They look at it like, okay, we're playing Denver tonight. Then we're playing the Wizards. 2 different nights, right? We're playing Denver tonight. Wizards right here, right? They know we're not beating Denver anyway. You know what I'm saying? So who cares?
All trying to make this stuff make sense.
When we playing the Wizards, they're like, we actually got a chance tonight. Let's give it our all, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Also, it could be the thing like the embarrassment part where it's like we can't lose to the Wizards.
Exactly.
Like Kyle Kuzma said, no one wants to be that team. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Like, trust me. Like, yes, teams going to their thinking like, okay, this is a good Denver team. You know what I'm saying? If we get blown out by, let's just try to keep this game close. You know what I'm saying? That's what they used to say about the Miami Heat. Like, let's just try to keep the game close. Let's try to make them not embarrass us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's more of the approach they be having against the Denver Nuggets. Now the Lakers, they think they can actually be better than this team, so they go out there and actually compete. Guys hitting shots, they never usually hit shots. Guys hitting shots from the 3-point line, they don't hit shots. So yes, absolutely, bro. They play harder against the Lakers than they do against Denver Nuggets. 1,000%.
Yo, yes. Mars, ain't it funny that Kuzma made that statement? Now they're that team.
His team is that team. Yeah, it's amazing. But
because they feel like they got a better shot at beating the Lakers, not because they got a bet. Okay, I'm sorry.
We got to keep it pushing. Irregular said Luka needs to get off the ball. Kyrie begging for the ball with Steph guarding him. Bron, KD, Harden giving up the rock, and Derrick Jones literally has no bag.
This happens every time the Mavs lose. It's Luka needs to get off the ball. They go on a 10-game winning streak. Luka's the best player ever. Like, please, like, calm down.
I think they won 11 of their last 12 before last night.
Like, stop overreacting. Every time they lose, Luka needs to get off the ball. Every time they win, Luka's the best player on the planet. Like, relax.
CT with the super chat said Ant been playing with back spasms and a dislocated finger. Hopefully he don't make it worse.
I think it's something like he's missed his last like 21 threes or something.
0 for 17, man.
Our commentators were saying that all last game every time he took a 3. He's 0 for 18. So yeah, he hasn't.
Hey, Ron,
0 for 8, 0 for 5, 0 for 6 in his last.
Ron, can you start doing that, please? When Oxby dropping takes off, 0 for 10, 0 for 12. Hey, just like I tell Ant, man, you got to keep shooting. You're gonna go 1 for something. You know what I mean?
So Swiper, currently,
what
is he
right
now?
Hey, Chilltown, that's my slogan, Chilltown. You got to shoot it till you break it. You know, shoot
it till you break it. Gonna go away. This thing's gonna go away.
Hey, shoot it till your hand fall off. You know, Ox has been chill today, Ron. He's only been in two arguments today so far, and he was on the side of Dion just to fight. So he's 0-0. He's really sharp with shots today.
Anthony Edwards has missed his last 22 threes, going back 4 games. He made his first one. He made his first one against the Pistons and then has missed 22.
I got facts, buddy. It's just
Dion, you're Jalen Green prior to this ascension. You're gonna get hot at some point, but you missing right now, bro.
Nah. What did I miss on today, buddy?
Anthony,
I'm gonna be honest. I think he cooked.
Your true shooting is the same as Julius Randle's career playoff true shooting. Look it up. You can look at it. That's the true shooting you got right now.
You play like Jason Tatum in Game 7s.
That's cool.
51?
5-2, 51 points. That sounds good to me.
What about last year?
He had 51 points in the Game 7. He had 51 points.
Elimination game.
I rolled my ankle.
What about the year before?
What you mean?
What happened to the year before?
They beat the Heat. They beat the Heat in Game 7.
I'm talking about against the Golden State Warriors, and then
they didn't go to Game 7.
They didn't go to Game 7.
He said elimination game.
He said
Game 7. No. I'll take it. I'm Tatum. I'll take it. I'm 5-2. I got the most points in the Game 7 NBA history. Let's go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alan L with the super chat said Giannis can't beat the Wizards without Dame. Laughing my ass off. L Ox, L Dub.
You know what I'm gonna do, Ron? I'm not even gonna do all that. I'm just gonna flick him in the forehead like when I see him, I walk up on him.
That hurt, yo. Ouch, yo.
Yeah.
You just gave me trauma right there. I remember being 10 years old. My uncle walking me in the forehead. I don't like it.
At church, man. Go to sleep. It's over.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Last night we seen the return of last year's MVP, Joel Embiid. He came and they played against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, it was without Shea and Jalen Williams, J-Dub, but the Sixers ended up pulling out. OKC did fight. Chet had him a pretty good night, but Joel led the Sixers with 24 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals.
Don't mention the turnovers.
Yeah,
he had 6 turnovers. He did have 6 turnovers, and he played 29 minutes, y'all. How did he look? How did y'all like the return of Joel Embiid?
Look great. For coming back from a meniscus injury, he looked great. For coming back from an injury, I'm saying for the first game back.
No.
First game back. No. Relative to what he could have been. He looked great. I didn't expect him to look that good.
He was moving. Well, you can see he's not conditions. He was moving well though, so he takes.
And that's where it is, Morris. I wasn't worried about his touch. I wasn't worried about shooting. I wasn't worried about passing. I wasn't worried about anything. Just how was he moving side to side? How was, especially like the meniscus, when you go on and when you stop, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm just watching that. Like, how was he stop and go? All of that. Like, obviously he's not going to be in shape. So there was some possessions where I saw him kind of dragging it up the court. And it's like, okay, he's out there just getting up and down, getting that conditioning in. So I was actually happy to see his movement. All the touch and all that stuff, as we all know, that's going to come. So, hey, the Bucks or the Celtics or the Cavs or whoever is there, y'all better watch out.
Is it me? Is it me or did he ugly? Really quickly, Mars, is it me or did he look lighter?
No, he looked heavier. What?
No,
it might be the head.
Yes,
it might be the head.
Maybe it might be the head. To me, it looked like he looked a little bit lighter. I was thinking to myself, did he lose some weight? I don't know.
Y'all remember the play when they challenged the play when he got fouled at the end of the game, right? When that fast break, he looked slow. He did not look. He looked out of shape. And if I'm gonna give a performance,
he's definitely out of shape.
100%.
He doesn't look lighter. And then on top of that,
he should be out of shape.
How do you get out rebounded by a guard? He has 6 rebounds. Where's his rebounding at? That's terrible. That's terrible. He got out rebounded by a guard.
He just got. Like, what you mean? He just got back.
But if you compare that to Joel Embiid, like that's okay. On a normal night, that's a 6+ performance. A C- performance. I give it a C+ because he came back from injury. But other than that, he honestly underperformed. He had a decent amount of a fourth quarter, but 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, shot 10 from the 3-point line yesterday, 6 turnovers, and then on top of it, he got out rebounded by one of his guards on his team. That's not. You can't have that. You want these guys, to get back in rhythm and get back into get to championship level.
I get what you're saying, Dion. I just think you're being a tough critic right now. I mean, he literally just got back from that meniscus injury. I don't expect him to out rebound everybody. I think, and like I said, I don't too much want to talk about the stat side of it. I was more so just looking at how he was moving, right. how he was getting up and down the court, especially how he's moving side to side and how he's stopping and going. That's the only thing I was really paying attention to. So the fact that you got out rebounded by a guard, I really don't think that's a big deal.
6 boards in 28 minutes, 29 minutes.
I mean, so Dion, like this is
a lot of that's
you got
going after the
playoffs start in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got. But
he's got 2 weeks to get in shape.
In 2 weeks, he's going to be a lot of basketball. 2 weeks, you'll get there. You'll get your window. Like if you see a rebound and you're out of shape, you got to go get that. It takes a lot of gas to move and get. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he's just like, bro, I don't got it in the tank right now. But in 14 days. It's like 14 days of playing basketball is completely different. Like, I don't know if you've ever just not hooped for a while. Yeah, and then you go that first week, those first 2 days, you're like, damn, I'm sore. But by week 3, you play basketball 3 days a week. Eventually you're like, okay, this is nothing. I'm back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like game shape is different from doing conditioning. Like you can do those things you go out in the game and it's just different.
Those are things that I'm saying. Which, Ox, I could get with your logic if this was December and we were going into 2 more weeks and I'm getting ramped up for the rest of the regular season. I'm actually going into the fire in 2 more weeks. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's going to the fire in 2 weeks. Playoffs start in 2 weeks. That's not that much time to revamp back up. And on top of that, like look at the team. Is the team chemistry going to be there over these next 2 weeks? Are they going to be able to gel together again? I know they play better. I
don't think team chemistry will be an issue at all. I mean, they play pretty much the whole season. Nah, they've been playing together all season except for this little time since the All-Star break.
It's playoffs though.
Right. Okay, so I wasn't trying to talk statistics, but what do you have last night? 24?
Yeah, 24, 7, and 6.
Okay, so he's getting now. So if we just talking statistically, right? if he's doing that, and we know he's not in good shape. Like no matter what, it doesn't matter what he was doing off the court before this. He's not in game shape. So if he's doing that now, imagine when he's let's say he's 70%, right? Let's see him at 85, 90%. Bro, those stats that goes right back to 32-11, bro.
And that logic I could get with Ox if we had more time. That's the problem. We don't have enough time to get to that point. If we had enough time to get to that point, then I would be all on board with you because I'm watching him last night and the mid-range looks like it's still there. Like you said to me a couple of days ago, like you don't just forget how to play basketball. And he didn't forget how to play basketball. He could still knock down the mid-range. He's still doing dribble handoffs. He still does rebound. Like he might not rebound like he did 3 months ago when he was healthy, but he still does rebound. He could still rim protect somewhat, but he doesn't rim protect like he did. And I could get with your logic if we had 2 more weeks or let's say 2 more months or 3 months before the playoffs started, where I can get myself in shape and get ready for that kind of action. Only except I don't. I basically got 2 weeks from today, and then we possibly can be opening up. Well, number one, I'm going to be in the play-in tournament. So ain't no guarantee that I'm going to be making the playoffs. That's number one. Number two, if I do make the playoffs, I got to see Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics in round 1, who own us. And I got to get myself ramped up for that. And I'm not necessarily prepared for that.
And psychologically,
they're 2 games back. They're 2 games back of 6.
But how many games have they lost in their last 20 games though?
A lot, but I think
so psychologically, those teammates right now, they're doubting themselves. They're not as confident as they was when Joel Embiid in the beginning of the regular season.
Yeah. I'm not really. If I'm Tobias Harris, I'm not doubting myself. I'm looking at it like, yo, the big fella, the MVP wasn't here. The MVP is back. If anything, I'm confident. Like, okay, I got my dog back. Let's get to it. Like, that's how I'm feeling. That's why from the beginning I was like, if he can get back and be healthy. Now, don't force it back. But if he can get back and actually be cleared, not on some like doctors or front office kind of whispering like, let's just get him on the court and see what happens. If he's really healthy, that this team has a legit chance. I think when it's just like what Chilltown always says about the James Brown thing. Like you walk different, you talk different, you run different, you hoop different when you got the MVP on the court. You know what I'm saying? That's just facts. Like I'm playing better when I got my dude with me than I am when he's
underperforms in the playoffs.
Even if he's at 65-70%, the fact that he here, I'm just I do stick my chest out a little.
His
and that other
makes
team
the game
too.
easier for people.
In the other side too. Those guys playing the Sixers when they were coming to Philly, when they were coming to the city of brotherly love. When Joel's sitting over there in street clothes, we got these dudes. But when the big fella on the court, they're a little more hesitant. You know what I'm saying?
Now, let me ask you this question, Big Ox. I'm glad you brought that up, Big Ox. So now I want to play devil's advocate with him being not in shape, with him coming back and trying to get himself back acclimated and having this little bit of time. Is that the game plan when we going up against him? Let's go after him.
Yeah.
Because we know for a fact that he's beat up. We know for a fact that he's not mobile. Let's go after him because he's a wounded dog.
Team's putting him in action for sure. That's going to be the plan. Nick Nurse got to adjust to that. And look, the optimist can say that's going to help him get in shape quicker.
Right.
If he has to exert himself more, because
he can re-injure himself though.
Yeah, and that's the pessimist. And that's the pessimist. He can also.
How many minutes did he play last night?
He played 29, almost 30. But how many minutes does he normally play?
Come on, man.
So, but before the break or before the injury,
he was averaging like 34. I think he was averaging like 34 minutes a game, something like that. Like
so here's also the thing too. I'm assuming this is something that Nick Nurse might contemplate. You can always play him fewer minutes. He can always play in the 26 to 27 minute mark. Obviously, they're not going to be as good without Joel Embiid, but you just played a whole 2 months without Joel Embiid, and Paul Reed got all of those reps, all of those minutes. So now you let Paul Reed play a couple more minutes to facilitate Joel getting back in shape and to facilitate when he gets tired and stuff like that, and to save him for the clutch part of the game when you really need him for the fourth quarter.
But the difference with that though, Ron, is he's not that kind of player. He was everything for us. So the fact that when he gets on the floor, when we see him, immediately that's where my mind frame is. The big fella's back, the guy who we ran the offense through. The big fella's back, the guy who led us in rebounding. The big fella's back, the guy who led us in scoring. So that's how we're going to look at him, and that's how we're going to view him. We're not going to view him as a guy who's just coming back, who we're just going to ease him back into the lineup. No, when he's on the floor, we're giving him the basketball.
No, chill. When he's on the floor, 100%. But I'm saying, though, if just to ease him back in, or just so you don't burn him out, Yo, we just played 2 months of basketball without him. Tyrese, you were the number one option. Tobias, you was asked to do more. Paul Reed, you was asked to step in and do what you do. Kelly Olynyk, it was nights like even last night. Kelly Olynyk led him in scoring. Kelly Oubre, my bad.
That took a miracle. That's 17 points in the fourth quarter. That's not going to happen on every given night. They gonna need Joel Embiid to.
Of course they're going to need Joel Embiid, and they're going
to need. I'm saying for 35 minutes at least. You guys don't understand the carry job that Joel is going to have to do for the play-in and the playoffs. He's going to have to carry them. If he doesn't carry them, they're going to get bumped out the play-in immediately. They only chance they have is Joel Embiid. That's all they have.
A nightmare scenario for them would be having to play the Heat in the first game and lose, and then have to play the Bulls. Because people don't watch the Bulls a lot. They are
the Bulls are just an annoying team to play.
Very rugged team, especially in the fourth quarter. They are extremely physical, and they have 3 shot makers on their team that are very confident. Well, Chuck, but having to deal with Drummond and Vooch on the inside, with Caruso hounding on the perimeter with Ayo, and again, it's just everything in the play-in. It's just like it can randomly happen. So that would be a nightmare scenario, I think, for Embiid to have to first get back. He's playing 2 playoff basketball games versus Bam and Jimmy, and then playing versus Vooch, Drummond, and then obviously, you know, we'll see with P. Will and all that stuff. But obviously, Alex Caruso, DeRozan, and all of them. Like that's just a very physical brand of basketball.
That actually might be good for him, though.
And then the optics can say that gets you playoff ready. So I mean,
but I think y'all are underestimating like how good of shape Embiid is actually in right now. Like he might not be in game shape yet, but it's not going to take long. Like he's in decent shape. He's been on the bike. He's been in the pool. He's been getting cardio in. It's not like he's just been sitting down. He's been putting in work. You know what I'm saying?
He did not look in shape to me.
It's not like
he didn't look in.
No, he didn't look in game shape.
No, he looked at chunkier. He looked at chunkier. Like he is.
Hold on, Dion. He's not just sitting down. Like as soon as he's off the crutches or as soon as he's clear, when he's at PT, he's getting 5-10 miles in on the bike. Then he's in the pool. You know what I'm saying? He's doing stuff. He's getting cardio in for sure. So it's only going to take. You know, and not only that, he's playing these regular games, but even on the off days, he's getting up and down the court, scrimmaging, doing some basketball. So he's going to be in game shape sooner than I think y'all are underestimating.
I think next week he'll probably be in solid.
Mars, when you say
38 minutes of playoff basketball shape, probably not.
Mars, when you say that, Mars, when you say 5-on-5, like what kind of 5-on-5? Because again,
full contact 5-on-5 scrimmage.
Even if that's true, right? We're not talking about a Joel Embiid. We're not just talking about a player who got injured and we're getting them back together. We're talking about a guy who has a history of this. So how realistic are we in 5-on-5s with him? Are we just pushing them out there and letting them go for 20 minutes, or are we pushing them out there for a couple of minutes, then getting them off the floor, and then pushing them back out there for another 3 or 4 minutes, and then getting them off the floor? How are we actually handling him? Because again, Mars, this isn't the consummate player. Not the consummate. I'm sorry. This isn't just a regular player that gets injured. This is a guy who has an extensive history of injury. In the process of him having an extensive history injury, he's also getting older. And on top of that, the playoffs are showing up. So we got to be real careful how we handle him. Very careful.
If I had to guess, it would probably start with you just run him in spurts and 5-on-5.
Right.
And then as he's ramping up, you start releasing the reins, basically. You let him go for longer until he can't go anymore. And then you just see how long he really can go for. Because I don't think they would just let him play an NBA game if he wasn't going all out in scrimmages.
They're desperate. They're desperate though. They're AFC.
Not really. They've got the play-in. They're gonna be in the play-in regardless. So Embiid didn't have to come back. They would have been in the play-in with or without him. And then it's you bring him back for the play-in. But I think you want to
that one game. You have. I'm telling you, they waited as long as they could.
The only reason they brought him back. Yes. The only reason they brought him back is because they want to get him in game shape before the play-in,
and they have to. They was forced to.
They're going to. He's going to get in game shape. Now in the playoffs, usually his minutes go up, probably like 37, 38. Can he play 38 minutes from the jump in the playoffs?
No,
I doubt it. I doubt it.
No.
Are you gonna need that against the Bucks and the Celtics?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's where the concerns,
or even Cleveland with their double,
and that's where the concerns come in. But he's going to be in good enough shape to where he can give you a good 32, 33 minutes in the playoffs.
That's why I'm asking, Mars, for that reason right there. That's why if we had more time, I'd like their chances better as opposed to 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is not enough time for me to get this guy together where we're going into a playoff series where I don't know, with a 3rd seed or the 4th seed, and we don't have to see somebody like at the top of the NBA in round 1 before we even get deep into the playoffs. That's why if we had more time, I'd feel more confident. I just don't right now, off the strength that, one, he's got an extensive injury history, and the fact that we only got 2 weeks before the playoffs.
I don't think they're actually going too far in the playoff, but some of this is like Embiid's going to have to be able to get to a level where he's going to shoot 47 to 51% from mid-range again. I don't know if he can do that. I think playing that level of physicality through the playoffs, the drop defense is going to have to be immaculate versus somebody Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Derek White, and then even versus Dame Lillard. Like, that's just a lot of pressure constantly. And then the rotation, because they're going to be playing drop consistently. What I did like about Nick Nurse, and what Nick Nurse is so underrated with, he is so good at in-game scheme adjustments. When they went to the zone yesterday, they did it to protect him. That way he doesn't have to move all over the court. So we're going to see more zone from them. We might see, in terms of the Eastern Conference, maybe the second most zone utilized, I think, in a playoff format behind the Miami Heat, because they want to make sure that Embiid is not getting tired out because he just came back. He'll only be 2 weeks back from basketball by the time the playoffs come in. And I think if they execute, they sucked at it yesterday because the Thunder were bombing threes on them because Batum and them didn't know what they were supposed to do. But if they figure it out and they can do it at a decent level, I think that will help them a lot. But I don't know if Embiid's going to be able to play at a good enough level. And then Tyrese Maxey being a number 2 option, the lead playmaker, lead guard, Buddy Hield, we haven't seen do anything in the playoffs. So I think they're going to struggle a little bit, but I think they can give some people some fights for sure.
I think we putting too much. And I mean, like, obviously it's Joel Embiid, top 3 player in the NBA for me. MVP. He's a phenomenal player. I think we putting too much on Embiid. Embiid's going to have to do what Embiid does, but Tyrese Maxey got to ball out. Tobias Harris got to show up. Kelly Oubre got to be the menace that he is. Kyle Lowry, Cameron Payne, they got to give good minutes. All of these guys, Buddy Hield got to shoot the shit out the ball. Like these other guys have to play.
Here's the thing, though, Ron.
It's just all on Joel Embiid. You guys got to. You guys have been playing without Joel Embiid for the last 2 months.
Right.
I expect you guys to play. They've been bad for sure, but they've had to up their load. So I expect you guys to max out the same way that you've been maxing out over these last couple months.
Now, Ron, to your point, the fact that these guys have to step their game up, the reason why they've been as good as they've been is because they play off Joel Embiid when he's at his max, when he has his superpowers. The fact that he doesn't, or when he's off the floor, now those guys, we have to see all their deficiencies because they got to do more. Joel Embiid is so good that he's got the ability to hide a lot of the things that they do wrong. So when these guys aren't as good defensively, they can hide that because Joel Embiid protects the rim. He protects the paint like he does. These guys miss open shots. Well, Joel Embiid, they put him in the mid-range and they adjust that where he can shoot that more. Well, when he's off the floor, now these guys got to shoot more long balls, which means they're not going to knock those down. Joel Embiid is off the floor. Now these guys got to play more defense on the perimeter and at the rim, which they're not very good at. So the idea that we're putting too much pressure on Joel Embiid. It's not that we're putting too much pressure on him. It's that that's who he is. He's everything for that Philadelphia 76ers team. They run their offense through him. Their defense is through him. He's their best rebounder. He's their best distributor. He's everything why they're good. And when he's not on the floor, they're not.
Chill, you're right. But even like with Jokic is everything for the Nuggets.
And if you take Jokic off the floor, that Denver team is way different.
I get that, but even with Jokic on the floor, Jamal Murray will win you a game or two in the playoffs.
Which is fair.
Michael Porter Jr. will get hot for 2 or 3 games and basically either shoot you back into the game or shoot you so far ahead that you guys basically won the game on Michael Porter Jr.'s strength of shooting. Aaron Gordon would defend like crazy and lock down a couple people for a series. So that's what I'm saying. These other guys got to contribute too. Like, yes, Joel's going to be everything. That team goes as far as Joel goes. Right. But some of you other guys got to do some stuff. Tyrese Maxey, you got to win us a game or two.
Right.
Kyle Lowry, we need you to clutch it up, take some charges. And Kelly Olynyk, we need you to go for 25, 2 or 3 games or 1 or 2 games in a series. You know, things like that. Tobias Harris, you can't just disappear for a 3-game stretch.
Right.
That's the point that I'm making.
Which is fair, Ron. But the difference with that, like, for example, on your Joker point, well, they didn't lose Joker for a bunch of months, so they didn't have to adjust to playing without him. I can get you a game if I'm Jamal Murray. I can knock down 6 or 7 threes if I'm MPJ. with Joker on the floor because that dynamic that he presents is so much, it makes my game so much better. Well, if he's off the floor, now I got to get adjusted to playing without Joker for 2 or 3 months, and then I got to get adjusted to playing back with Joker. So now I got to get adjusted to playing back with him in the playoffs. It's way different if I can win. I can help you win a game off the strength of me when I got Joker for the entire season because my game has basically been predicated on playing with him, as opposed to when I haven't had him for 2 months. Like for example, Maxey. Maxey is a downhill guy. Maxey is a guy who gets to the rim. Well, he's getting to the rim off the strength of dribble handoffs. He's getting to the rim off the strength of shot creation because Joel Embiid creates so much attention. Well, now Joel Embiid is off the floor. Well, now the lane isn't as wide open as it was before. The reason why the lane isn't as wide open as it was before because Joel Embiid is off the floor. So now I got to make difficult shots over more people. Now I got to get other people involved. And it's way different when these guys are off the floor. I mean, it's way different when Joel Embiid is off the floor than when he is.
Chill, that's even furthermore to my point, though. I'm actually happy that Maxey got these last 2 months without Joel. Because once again in the playoffs, especially right now with Joel being coming back and not being in as good a shape, Joel might play 30 minutes. He might get in foul trouble or something like that. Tyrese Maxey, we need you to carry. We need you. And we need you. Mars, it might be a tall task, but we need you. Who else gonna do it? Hey, Joel can't come. Joel's in foul trouble. He can't come back to 4 minutes left in the game. Tyrese Maxey, it's the fourth quarter just started. We need you to carry for these next 8 minutes. Right. We need 8 to 10 points out of you.
This is where Tobias Harris finally has to prove his worth. Y'all know I've been critical about Tobias since I got up here on this platform, and this is where Tobias Harris has to really show I earned this money that I've been making this whole time. I don't think 20-8 is asking for too much. Like Tobias, can you give us that? Could you please just give us that?
He playing for a contract, so
you say 20-8.
That's a lot, yo.
No, he did this also a couple of times already, but Embiid didn't play good. So that's where it all hasn't happened for them all at once. That's been their issue. Like they've had.
Tobias still underperforming more than Joel Embiid though.
What?
He hasn't lived up to his.
That's not how that works. No,
Tobias should be the second best scorer on that team.
No. That's not how that works. Your 1A cannot not be a 1A in the playoffs and you win. That's not how that works.
I understand, but Joel Embiid is definitely under the fire too. That's why I didn't have Joel Embiid. I had Joel Embiid like around number 9, 10 of best players in the world right now, just because of his playoff performance. But like at the same time, bro. He should not have to depend on just Joel Embiid, and Maxey. He has to come out and score himself as well. Why is he not the second? Why is he not the second leading scorer?
If he gets you 18-7, which he's very well able to do, or 17-6, which is good for a third option in the playoffs, then that's cool. But Embiid has to be a 32, 10, and 5 player still. It can't drop to a 23, 8, and 4 with 4 turnovers. It can't drop to a 25 negative true shooting, and then that can't happen. And again, I think the hard part about this year is I don't think we can really expect anything from Embiid. Everything he does from this point is probably from a narrative standpoint, it's just going to be filling. And it's going to be like when you're finishing the cake and you're putting the toppings on it. Because I don't think people are actually going to take anything from this. If they fail,
he should keep his ass at home then.
Oh, well, so what I was just saying about LeBron, that applies to Embiid.
No, it doesn't. It's two different things. LeBron is
it would apply if someone like me was saying, "Oh, Embiid gonna win the finals," and then he underperforms.
That wouldn't Embiid.
He was injured.
Embiid in his prime.
That's where it would apply.
LeBron's is in the year.
That's where it would apply.
Swiper, what are you expecting from Joel, Swiper? What do you expect?
I don't think it's Ox, because you know me, I'm critical of players. Period. But if you're in a 1A conversation, I'm very critical. I don't want to put anything on Embiid because I don't know what his body can handle. I legitimately said when he tore his meniscus for his life, he should not be playing because you're a 7-footer. You need cartilage in your knee to live. And the same thing with Cat. I sincerely don't have any expectations because I don't know what he can physically handle when it matters. So anything he does is a miracle beyond this point, but I'm also not going to criticize him like crazy like I would in previous years because I legitimately think you taking 2 months off, Ox, you played hoops. Coming back and being the number 1 option and being asked to be a 35, 10, and 5 player again on a playoff run through the Bucks, through Boston, through the Knicks, through the Heat, to the finals, that's insane, Ox. And he's already like, and again, what if he gets hit again? Bro, like Ox, he gets hit every year in the face or something. What if he breaks his hand again? And his knee's not going to allow for him to be his normal self. So I don't even have anything to say about it, honestly. I hope he stays healthy. It's my biggest thing.
Well, so in this song, this what I'm saying about what you were just talking to Dion about. I understand you saying, well, he's the one that so we can't come with 24 and this and that, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think the Sixers are winning the championship anyway. But if Buddy Hield, if 3 games out of 7, Buddy Hield comes out and shoots incredibly, if Tyrese Maxey can carry a lot more of the offensive load, I think we're okay with Joel Embiid coming with 25 and 12, 25 and 11. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily for 30 some points in order for them to win it all. You know what I mean?
Question, Asa. 80%. You're gonna get 80% of Joel Embiid this year. This is what you're gonna get. You're getting 80% of him this year, including the playoffs. How far do you think the Philadelphia 76ers can go? And what can those guys do in order for them to ensure that?
Well, I got to be honest anyway, Chilltown. I've never had much faith in the Sixers. I'm kind of just talking about ways I think they can get it done.
Right.
Although I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't really believe in them like that anyway. So, I mean, if Joel is playing at 80%,
yeah,
they have to get the 6th seed. I mean, they have to get the 6th seed. They're not beating Boston. They're not beating Milwaukee. And if New York is the 3 seed, then they're done. But if so they
out in round 1.
If Cleveland's the 3 seed,
realistically, yeah.
If Cleveland's the 3 seed, the Sixers can get the 6th seed. Yes, I think they can beat Cleveland. I don't think they can beat New York. I don't think they can beat Milwaukee. I don't think they can beat Boston. Let's say if Orlando gets the 3 seed, they can beat Cleveland or Orlando. They can't beat New York.
But
they
you know
can't
how
beat Milwaukee.
physical Orlando would be with Wendell Carter Jr. on the inside, bro, with Paolo and Franz and Mo coming off the bench.
But I still think they beat Orlando.
I mean, but Suggs hounding Tyrese Maxey too. That would just be a really tough series, I think, for them to get off. But it could happen.
Any one of these series, this whole top 5 is going to be tough for anybody.
Everybody physical. Every one of them is physical.
Yeah. Right. I honestly, if they match up with Cleveland, I actually got.
I mean, honestly, the softest interior team here might be the Celtics. Honestly, if you look at all these teams, they might be the softest one.
That might be the softest interior, but they're still the best team. So they're not going to beat Boston. I think the only team they're for sure beating is Cleveland, and I think they can beat Orlando. They're not beating New York. They're not beating Milwaukee. They're not beating Boston.
Even the Patriots would be a hard matchup because if Tyrese is healthy, which he's not, like they'll be running around all the time consistently, and I think that'll often be a lot to deal with for sure. But yeah,
they're not making out the play-in. Honestly, they'll get bounced out the play-in.
Fellas, I gotta ask you guys. So right now we're looking at this right now. Is it any chance that the Sixers can get out of the play-in? And I can tell you their remaining schedule. They have the Heat tomorrow, the Grizzlies Saturday, the Spurs, the Pistons, the Magic, and the Nets. So they got a fairly favorable schedule.
Yes, they should be good, right?
Heat, Grizzlies, Spurs, Pistons, Magic, Nets.
Wait, what's
6 seed incoming, Ron? 6 seed.
What's the Pacers schedule? What's the Pacers schedule?
Hold on, let me give it to you.
Pause.
They could win. They could definitely win. They got 6 games.
Brooklyn, OKC, Miami, Toronto, Cleveland, Atlanta. I doubt they can make up a 2-game gap with the Indiana schedule. They'll be in the play. They'll probably just be in the play.
I'm just.
They might be able. They might catch Miami though.
And instead
they might have home court in the play-in, but
instead of having to come down here, they actually got to come.
But I doubt they catch India. I doubt it. But they might.
But y'all don't got them beating Miami, huh?
In the play-in.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I'm very interested to see that game. Very interested. I don't know.
See, that's one of those games where Tyrese Maxey got to go crazy, and he can carry that squad through that.
I'm putting Embiid. If I'm Orlando, I'm putting Joel Embiid in action, and I'm putting him in a lot of high pick and roll action with Franz Wagner, with Paolo. Even though I don't like the fact that Paolo doesn't rebound as much as I like for him, I'm still putting him in that action. And I'm dragging Joel Embiid away from the basket. And I'm going to make him cover a lot of ground. And I'm going to make him cover a lot of ground. I'm going to make him cover a lot of ground off the strength that takes him away from the backboard. And if
he can play drop against Paolo, though, Showtime.
I don't love him.
He don't got to come out and get Paolo.
Right. But even if him not having to come out and get Paolo, I think Paolo's got a respectable enough jump shot where Joel Embiid has to at least respect it. With that being said, him playing against Orlando, I'm definitely putting Joel Embiid in as much action as I can possibly put him in, and I'm going to be physical with him because I'm going to test how healthy he is. I'm going to test how healthy he is. I want to see what type of endurance he has. I'm going to run him. I'm going to do everything that I can to find out where Joel Embiid is over a 7-game series. I don't think that we need to extend it that long because I think that at some point, I think he's going to wear down because I don't think it's enough time for him to get back. But that kind of team against Orlando, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing if I'm Cleveland too. I'm putting him in action. And what I'm also doing is I'm dispelling this myth about us being soft. And I want to actually get to that with Joel Embiid. I want to rough Joel Embiid up more because I want to get that
on Cleveland. Rough Joel Embiid.
We got a big man for Cleveland. Yes.
I want to get that tag off of us that we're soft. So I want to
relax, bro. You don't gotta lie.
We got big men for Cleveland. We got good big men.
What I'm thinking, Ox, is I want to get that soft tag off me. I do. Okay. I want to get that soft tag off me, and I want to play more physical with a guy like Joel Embiid. To find out where he is.
I hear what you're saying, but that's okay. I want to get my soft tag off me. I'm gonna walk into the biggest dude in the club and just punch him in the face. I still don't mean I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
It doesn't.
Chintan, that's like when when you a sophomore and you wake up, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna talk to her today. I don't know, Chintan. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you shouldn't talk to her today. You know what I mean? It might not be today for you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I don't see Cleveland being able to rough. They can't bring the physicality to Joel Embiid. I don't see how.
But with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, they can.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they're not like, again, hear me clear. They don't have the wings like size, but respect. Dean Wade's been a better defender this year, but it's more so about disruption and showing hands, though, Ox. That's the thing. Can you displace him from his spot?
No,
when you do trap, you're showing. Go ahead.
We'll swipe. So I'm not saying that they don't got the personnel to compete. They don't have the personnel to rough him up. Is what I'm saying. Well, like, that's not the only way that you can win that matchup. You don't have to rough Joel up to win. So I'm saying they can do something. Coach Bickerstaff, he can figure something out for them to win the series, but I don't think it's sending Evan Mobley to rough Joel. I think that's a losing formula.
I think if you trap Joe, the issue with Joe has been he's had a negative assist to turnover ratio in every playoff run he's ever been, because if you trap him in his spots, the problem is if you show him length, he doesn't have the ability to pass more than one pass away. And when he does get a little frizzled or frazzled with his handle, he can dislodge the ball from him pretty easily. So some of this is, can you show hands on its jump shot? Because that's what he's trying to get to. So if you show hands on the jump shot, can you get him to convert at a 41 to 38% rate as opposed to a 47? And then that changes his game because he's not a plus playmaker in that kind of a setting. But I think Embiid, what Nurse is going to be able to do now is just about moving him on places on the court where he knows exactly, okay, one pass away, two pass away, skip pass, I can get where I need to go, and I don't have to panic. And I think some of this is also making sure Tyrese Maxey and others are next to him. That way he has a safety valve of a shooter that's connected to him. So you can't just double off the top. You have to double from another side of the court I can see. That's coaching. But then the coaching then has to respond to Joel having the processing to be able to understand that, okay, if this is happening now, this is where I can go. And so then they try to take that second look away. This is where I need to go after that. I don't know if Joel can do that, but that's been his biggest issue. It turns out it's an offensive player in those settings. And
he's been a lot better passer this season, though.
But it's scheme passing, though. I think that's the distinction, though. It's scheme specific passing. Joe got better, but it's not as if like his processor and the way they're asking him to pass has improved dramatically from last year. It's just that Nurse put him in an advantageous situation to be able to see quickly versus regular season defenses. This is where the ball needs to go, and so that's part of coaching and his development. Go ahead.
Right. So a lot of times, though. I think a lot of times we get caught up in when you see somebody get doubled or get trapped, we want him to pass to a bucket. We want him to get the assist out of that. I think we can also realize, like, if you know Joel is not able to read all of that, just pass out of the double. You know, just get that release valve. We're not always looking for, if you can't always make the pass to the cutter on the baseline, be that might be Tobias Harris, if Evan Mobley's helping off whatever the matchup may be. It might not be a skip pass to Buddy Hield for a 3-ball. It might have to just be like, okay, the guard shift over, we're just passing out the double and we're getting back into something. We might pass out the double, come set the high pick and roll. It doesn't always have to pass straight to a bucket. So that's the only reason I'm saying there. I don't think they have the physicality for Joel Embiid. And if that's their plan, I think it's a terrible one.
All right, y'all. I got super chats. So we're going to go ahead and get through these. Y'all, let me get through these. Also, too, like the video if you haven't. Shout out to everybody that's been in here from the front to the back of the show. But also, if you just popped in, shout out to you, too. Shout out all of our new members. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet, go ahead and do that. Right now, from the top, my man Mark Ken sent through a super chat and said, what narratives do you think they will run with the podcast, Mars? Do you agree with those narratives or not?
He's talking about the mind the game, LeBron, JJ Redick thing. The third episode came out. I think that's the one that the narrative people are going to harp on the most, because he spoke about how that 2011 Heat team wasn't built correctly and they weren't built to win that first year.
1,000%.
And they had to get like the right role players, and then Chris Bosh had to sacrifice, and all of that. People are going to run with that. Him talking about the 09 Cavs versus the Magic, and how the Magic were like just more advanced in terms of their offensive scheming, and how that's why they couldn't win that series and stuff like that. I think, and then him talking about how like super teams aren't super teams if they don't have the right role players, because it's more than just the big three talent, all of that stuff. People are going to use that they're going to say LeBron's making excuses for why he couldn't get it done in 2011 when he said they were going to win 7 rings, blah, 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 all of that. So there's like the people who love their little narratives. This is like the episode that they're going to run with. And so.
But did he lie?
I told y'all earlier, it's a matter of time before people start saying Bron don't know ball. I'm telling you, they're gonna start. People gonna be saying, I swear, if you talk about basketball enough, they will come out and tell you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know ball. Bron is there are going to tell us that LeBron James doesn't know what he's talking about.
If you look back at that 2011 roster, I mean, it was literally top heavy. Everything he said was 1,000% correct.
Who did you have winning the title in 2011?
You said what?
Who did you have winning the championship in 2011?
I mean, I was like 11 years old, so I had Miami. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But it was more because of LeBron. You know that was
exactly.
We can't get into this right now.
It's been because of LeBron every year, and it's only
absolutely. Yes.
We can't get into this right now. We only got a few minutes left, and I got to read these super chats. Context Clues said thoughts on the Knicks versus Heat last night. Also on Tibbs playing his key starters all of these minutes heading into the playoffs.
I didn't watch the game.
They do this, man. I can't. He hasn't learned since 2011 not to do this, to wear your players down. I just don't understand this.
What's wrong with bro?
He don't care. He don't care.
Is he sick or something?
He don't care. Play for him. I mean, because
he's the type of player I would love to play for Tibbs, but I would still be a little tired. Like, yo, it's April. We about to come on, bro. Let me sit down.
They got a deep team too, or a fairly deep
Josh
team.
Hart played 48 minutes one game. Deuce McBride played 46 minutes one game. Like, bruh. Now again, those are role players. Randall's been out, but even Brunson shot the ball 47 times the other day versus the Spurs. After we had 44 from DeJounte Murray, we got 2 44+ shot attempt games over a 4-day span in the NBA. We haven't had that in the 2020s.
Like DeJounte said, man, Kobe be proud. My thing is, I'm starting to think Tibbs probably just be forgetting to do subs. He be thinking about double cheeseburgers and deep dish pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Playing
they just rehearsing that last dance again, man.
Cold in New York.
Yeah.
My question is who else is he going to play?
A bunch of people. They got a nice roster.
In the playoffs, he about to have a 7-man rotation. You know,
right? So
it's gonna be Isaiah Hartenstein, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, OG, Jalen Brunson.
Right. OG's gonna be back.
Dante DiVincenzo.
I feel bad. I feel bad for OG coming off an injury, going right back into that, bro. Goodness gracious.
Straight to 44 minutes.
which is why now Miles McBride is not going to play 45 minutes. Josh Hart plays heavy minutes. DiVincenzo is not going to play 39 minutes because OG is on the floor. Jalen Brunson is going to play. Isaiah Hartenstein plays 30 minutes. Precious played 22 minutes. Alec Burke, 12 minutes. Bojan, 10 minutes. When we get them other dudes back,
it's no way they go 7 deep.
Who's really playing heavy minutes on this crew outside of Josh Hart? Because DiVincenzo's not going to play 35, 40 minutes when OG comes back. So who's really playing heavy minutes on this crew? And when they get Julius Randle, back. And to your point, Moss, with Jalen Brunson, my best player is going to play. That's just how that is. My best player is going to play.
You just might be tired. That's all it is. He plays his guys a lot of minutes, man, and a lot of it just because we saw what happened to Derrick Rose. So it's kind of like,
yeah. And you know how I feel about it. Like, these are world-class athletes. I'm not saying like, oh, give them a break. I'm just saying like, at some point, it's an 82-game season. You got a 15-man roster. You can use some of these bodies. But like I said, though, these are world-class athletes. So I'm not like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that big a deal. But once, and like Mars just said, if somebody gets hurt, it's gonna be on Tibbs. Even if it's not on Tibbs, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's just how it works.
So last night, Mitchell Robinson only played 10 minutes. I mean, he's just coming back.
Yeah,
so,
he's on his minutes.
That could be understandable. Precious played 26.
Morris, what's this about? What you talking about? What's this about?
Bojan played about 20 minutes.
My assistant, not me, my assistants.
Okay. Alec Burke only played 3 minutes last night. So that's what the bench looked like. 10 minutes from Mitchell, 26 from Precious, 20 from Bojan, and 3 minutes from Alec Burks.
Right.
Hey, shout out to those 3 minutes, man. Very valuable.
Which is why Josh Hart got to play 45 minutes for that reason right there. Because who else does what he does? None of them dudes do.
I could go get a rebound if I was 6'4".
And if Grandma had balls, Mars.
All right, so keep it in lit. MP13 said, Dr. Umar gives me high blood pressure with some of the stuff he says. I'll try to understand his perspective and give him the benefit of the doubt, but he says some weird things and discredits himself.
I think
Dr. Umar, the one who said that Vanessa Bryant needs to give away Kobe's money, right?
That's the black.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
forgot about that.
If you want some black scholarship on how to impact your community in a way that is both equitable, humane, and just, definitely encourage you to check out Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community," written in 1967, right before he passed away. Definitely a place to check out.
Will Chamberlain won a championship that year.
That's a fact.
Courtney Edwards said, is it crazy to say Jalen Brunson has the best footwork we've seen by a 6-foot guard, even better than Kyrie?
Well, Kyrie's 6'2". So.
His footwork is cold. His footwork is cold, though.
It's
not.
Yes.
He just knows how to leverage his body really well.
Yes, he does. He's got that herky-jerky game. And
his step through is crazy.
yes.
Him and Luka have that step through.
Herky-jerky game. And I think it's cool to recognize a guy being
best footwork at 6 foot. He might. How tall was Sam Cassell?
6'3".
Jalen Brunson, I will give him his credit. For as small as he is, Jalen Brunson will really post your ass up and won't think twice about it.
I'm just asking what you know about Sam Cassell, boys.
Oh, I watch basketball. I watched the game.
Alan L said even Jalen will be disgusted by this level of meat munching from Dion.
No, Jalen would aspire to be that good.
He'll put a bib on and sit next to him.
Styles Blackman with the super chat said, Ox, I don't ever want to hear you talking about the Lakers media cartel again. You up here co-signing this bullshit. I lose brain cells every time this dude talks.
You were co-signing it. You were co-signing.
I was just co-signing the freedom of speech. I was just co-signing the First Amendment. That's all I was doing.
All right. You know who you sound like? You sound like Elon Musk. You sound like Elon Musk. He bought Twitter for free speech and then limited speech for other people. There you go. That's exactly what
I would never do it.
You limit my speech all the time. When I start talking, you say, hold on, Swiper. Listen up real quick, Swiper.
You do that.
I only do that when I'm talking first and Swiper want to prove a point. I'm like, just hold on, Swiper, give me a second. Well, let me get it off.
Did it again.
You can throw it in the box. You can throw it in the box when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to box me. He's trying to box me up before I get it out. It's crazy. Like, yo, hey, let me finish it and box it up if you see fit.
Leaf John and 7 said, Mars, since you are too young to drive, but seemingly don't go to school, since the show is during school hours, did you test out?
You say school hours, isn't Mars?
It's nearly 7 p.m. right now.
All right.
The show starts at
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and J-Dub out tonight, by the way, versus Celtics.
Oh,
and they still gonna win.
I mean, honestly,
they still gonna. Are you doing that game on playback, Joe?
No, I'm not.
No, tonight on playback is Damo with the Magic versus the Pelicans.
Oh yeah, you said that.
8 Eastern. But Mars, why don't you go to school?
The show's not at school hours. The show starts at 4, and then
so
a couple before the time difference. The show started at 3. But other than that, generally speaking, the show starts at 4, and then when the time goes back, it starts at 5. Like right now, it's Easter break right now.
Okay, so Mars, what you saying is you can relate to a college athlete where you go through a long, grueling day of school, then you got to come up here and fight tooth and nail for 3 hours on this panel hardwood.
I mean, I'm just saying the show's not on during school hours. That's what I'm saying. Everything else is up for human interpretation. I'm just saying the show's not on during school hours. Excuse me.
Marcel Sanders said Paolo outplayed Zion the last time. Let's get it.
No, we don't reckon with Paolo. Couldn't outplay the Warriors. But
Devin with the super chat said, what offseason moves do y'all think OKC can make to become the title favorites next season? I think they should target Sar. Thoughts?
Oh, they have all pick. Oh my god.
He said OKC?
Yeah, they have our pick. So they're gonna get a lottery pick. I don't know where it's gonna be though.
Well, the draft isn't gonna get them championship contention next season. Jonas Valanciunas will get him in championship contention next.
So on that big board, Ox, you in the war room on that big board. Who is at the top of your list? You in Oklahoma City? Because Andre Drummond's at the top of my list. I got his agent on line 1. I'm calling him up. That's who I
call Valanciunas' agent first. You know what I'm saying? And then if you can't get him, then maybe. But
a big, basically, just a big.
Like not just in
a legitimate big rebounding. Yeah, right. That's sweet.
Yeah, Hartenstein too. Hartenstein for sure.
They can get Hartenstein.
JV or Hartenstein. That's the way to go.
I'm thinking a little bigger, Ox. I mean, I do like that, but I'm like all these picks and stuff we got. I'm thinking trades and stuff like that of that nature too. But if we're just looking at free agents, what'd you say?
Claxton's an unrestricted free agent this year. I don't know if you guys are interested in that.
Claxton.
Nick Claxton, right?
Oh yeah. That would be a good move. But I'm thinking like Paul George or OG.
We don't need no more buckets, Ron. We don't need buckets.
OG would be nice. Better than Ludo.
Oh, you want to upgrade that? You want to upgrade at the small forward spot? That's what you want to do. Ron?
Paul George not leaving the Clippers.
I think Paul George is leaving. I think
they got new.
I think that's a foregone conclusion.
New jerseys.
New jerseys is he?
They got new jerseys. That's why he's staying.
Yeah, he said he's staying on those red jerseys.
Apparently, they're not even.
Why would he not go to the Sixers if he had a chance to play next to Embiid?
Because Embiid just as unhealthy as Kawhi.
Kawhi's been healthy this year. They're still not going to go anywhere.
Hey, he got right knee soreness right now. We know what right knee soreness means.
He's played more games. You know he's played more games than Luka this year.
Who Kawhi?
And guess what? He got right knee soreness right now.
Well, if I'm PG, I'm not going nowhere. If I'm PG, like if I'm PG,
I told you guys he was playing games, but he still has those knee problems and now what? Right knee soreness.
There we go.
Last time he had right knee soreness, he had a 2 minutes.
Are you paying PG 200?
So this is my thing, Swiper. I'm not talking about from the GM and all that. I'm talking about if I'm Paul George. If I'm Paul George, I'm
offering you four for
Inglewood.
200 though. Maybe what if the Sixers
crazy?
I don't think PG. I don't think
I'm not paying PG. I'm not paying PG 50 mil a season. No way. No, I wouldn't do that.
Not what he's going to be making though. He's all NBA a couple years ago.
That's the net sort of for PG that type of money. The net sort of for PG that type of money.
But I'm
got to keep it pushing, y'all.
I'm staying in LA.
Do they have money?
Slitherman sent through a super chat and said, "You can judge how off the rails a chill take is by the face Mars makes when he says it."
What takes the chill make today? I don't know.
Walker with the super chat. Walker said Dion is being very ignorant. He knows his logic is flawed, but he's quote unquote standing on business. In real, he's standing on BS. Just admit you messed up, bro.
No, he can believe what he wants.
Buddy, man, it's okay, man. I understand, bro. You disagree with my takes, but the thing about it is, man, everything I've said today is 100% facts. So, I mean, at this point,
how does that work? How does 100%?
Oh no, somehow we can give us
100% facts. Yes. 80, yes.
100%.
The only thing I stand on business about today is the 80 over Tim Duncan, and on top of that, LeBron being the best player going to the playoffs. I truly feel like he is. When you factor in defense and offense, playmaking ability, leadership, LeBron James is the best player on the planet.
Do you think the 2020 election was rigged?
It was clearly rigged.
Oh man. We about to get deep into it. Go ahead.
I mean, it was obviously rigged. Swiper, like
there you go. There you go.
I don't care. Hey, look, this my thing. Sometimes you got to cheat to preserve democracy. So
Facts.
Lonnie Williams said, never seen someone so confident in their ignorance. Bring shame back. Standing on business is respected when you're not coming from a bias and delusional.
Nice.
SMH. Courtney Edwards said, I would love to see Ticket's reaction to this guy, Dion. Dude is nasty. Let's get a free pass to the next round if we ever match up against the Lakers. Laughing my ass off.
No, it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious if the Lakers actually win a championship this year. That's gonna be so hilarious.
Oh my god!
LeBron wins about like every 4 years, bro. I mean, it's 2020 right now, 2024. So he's due for a championship. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's due for a championship.
What did he win in
2020,
2016,
2012.
He won.
Yes,
Mickey Mouse.
Football CF Candy said Jonathan Isaac equals the right answer as best defender.
Facts.
Vic VS said Wemby a better defender than Rudy, even if he is a rook.
Thank you. Yes, he is.
Zero Just Vibing said, keep making them clips, chill. Laughing emojis. Leaf Diggy said, yo, Swiper, you missed the spot. Hashtag nuggets and fries on me.
Is that when he was sweeping?
Yeah.
Swept Dion up out of there.
Stop, man. Stop, man.
Mav Dunn said, where does Ron find these delusional Bron fans?
Oh, he's so delusional.
Bron top 5 and he winning the ship this year.
No, he top 1.
KG Sand said Alec Burks just came back from injury.
Yeah. This Bojan thing hasn't really been. This Bojan thing with the Knicks hasn't really been.
You don't play defense.
You got to be patient for them dividends, chill.
Okay.
He gonna start playing defense somehow.
He probably won't, Morris, but when the dividend checks start coming in,
I'll give it another minute. I will.
Trail Bell became a member today. If you haven't become a member, go ahead and become a member right now. You can see right there, you could chat for $1.99 or you could upgrade your membership to the $5 membership. And it comes with a couple more perks and some bells and whistles. I think you'll like it. Check it out. Also, slap the subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the like button on the way out. I got one more super chat from Marcel Sanders. He said Paulo will be the best player on the Rockets. Mars.
Is that true?
Today, it might be.
I don't know, man. The way Jalen Green has been playing, I'm not sure that's true.
Is he better than Sengun?
That's the real question. Paulo is not better than Sengun. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
No, that he isn't.
Mm-mm.
You guys been letting Paulo slide for being as inefficient as he is, but well,
and not rebounding.
Dion, the next time you get back up here, we can have a Paulo Sengun argument. But as of right now, we got to end the show because we have a new show coming on right after this, and it's called The Press Box. Go tap in. I mean, you did see it with some major football news that happened earlier. It was a big time trade. Get over there. They're gonna be talking about the trade. Go holler at J-Rob, Bama, Early, Riddell, all the good guys over there. We'll be back tomorrow with maybe some different guys, but the same entertaining show. As always, we'll catch you then.
Later.
Peace, y'all.